beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
I gotta get away with this.
No! Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man.
I don't have facts to back this up.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
That's true. Sometimes I cry.
Oh!
Lick my butthole, he laughed.
From the strangest corners of the internet, here to bring you opinions of the world from an altered perspective. Here are your hosts, the Drunken Peasants.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Drunken Peasants Podcast. This is episode 1370.
Do it live.
Doing it live. 1370. A crazy day. First, we have to take a moment to talk about how today is also the birthday of Scott Henson. Would have been his 41st birthday.
Scott would have been 41.
Yeah.
41. He's exactly 1 month older than me.
Yeah.
Every time that Scott's birthday would come up, I'd be like, okay, I'm getting old now too. And it sucks. Because it's the 13th, and I'm a big 13th boy. I know Magic has got a 13th birthday. My dad had a 13th birthday. I'm all about those 13th birthdays, so I always made sure to wish him a happy birthday more than anybody else.
Happy birthday,
Sucks.
Eternal Peasant, the big cat. My dad has a 13th birthday.
Yeah, 13th birthdays are cool.
And then my grandmother had a 31st birthday.
On the 31st?
It was Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy stuff. When you flip it like that. All right, everyone, please like the stream. Today was a crazy day. I was editing a funny video that I'll play later as a palate cleanser after we get done talking about all this really serious political shit that happened today. I didn't see it coming, I guess. You normally think that, when a former president is doing some kind of public appearance, that, the people who protect them.
I think Scoot would really love that this Trump incident happened on his birthday. We'll always love you, Scott.
There was a security flaw, for lack of a better term.
I like to think that Scott was the reason Trump is alive today because he didn't want to share
an angel
his birthday
watching
with
for
Trump's
you.
death.
Yeah. There's an angel on your shoulder, Trump.
But that being said, the Dr. Ruth, the old sex
Richard
doctor lady
Simmons
passed away today. Richard Simmons passed away today.
Shelley Duvall a couple days ago.
Yeah, so Scott's birthday party is going to have some interesting guests.
All right. So we'll play the news intro and talk about the Trump assassination attempt.
He called me sir and got me so human angry.
People are discriminating against wolves.
Wow. They're laughing at us, at our stupidity.
Wow.
And you better well learn to love it.
Oh?
Yeah, man. Donald Trump now looks like the most badass president of our generation.
Yeah, here's the footage of the shooting here. So Trump, I think from what I've heard, and we'll get some more information in a moment here, but I think he was only out for a short time before the shots were fired. So,
yeah.
From what I understand, he hadn't been out on stage for that
He probably
long.
went out around 6 p.m. if it was 6:11 Eastern.
He's usually fashionably late every time. So it's probably scheduled for 6 p.m.
Yeah.
And then the worst president in the history of our country took over. And look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Right there. You heard the pop of the gun, and Trump's about to reach for his ear. The bullet literally took off the tip of his ear.
Now, if I was a conspiracy theorist and a pro wrestling fan, this would be a perfect time for Trump to blade his own ear.
To blade?
Just saying. There's like, he's really looking to the side. He was looking towards the gunman, basically, right? Because he was looking to the side this entire time. His head was turned. He's usually facing the camera. Very interesting.
We saw the Secret Service come in and get on top of him. And then there's a whole bunch more shooting. I think some of the shots were taking out the gunman. It was so close.
Yeah,
I mean,
the gunman.
Yeah, go ahead.
The gunman died, right? Like,
yes.
That's been confirmed?
Yes, so I think some of the shots we heard were the shots that took him out. Or whoever. I mean, there's rumors about who it is, but I don't think anything's been completely confirmed. There were some people in the crowd that got killed, so that's probably where the screen.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving his hair. Hold. When you're ready. On you. Ready. Move.
Dude, did the bullets go exactly where the blacks for Trump are usually sitting?
I have no idea.
You ready?
Okay, we are watching live at a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, where former President Trump was speaking on the stage.
Okay, so that was the incident, and here's Biden's reaction.
Critical condition. The shooter, who has not been identified, we know nothing about that person's background or what might have motivated him. That shooter is.
Does Biden come out and thank the guy, or does he say, "Hey, next time"?
Well, he comes out and is like, "I have immunity, right?"
Be deceased as well. This story has been rolling out, and here is the president.
Thoroughly briefed by all the agencies in the federal government as to the situation, based on what we know now. I have tried to get a hold of Donald. He's with his doctors. Apparently he's doing well. I plan on talking to him shortly. I hope
he's doing well
when I get back to the telephone. Look,
I wouldn't be surprised if Trump has a permanently deformed ear. It looked like part of it was just taken off. It was probably.
Did it look that bad?
It was a rifle bullet. I mean, it's.
It looked like it was right on the top of the ear, like it just barely grazed it.
I feel like he'll be missing a little chunk of his ear, but I guess we'll see.
You think it'll be worse than Evander Holyfield's ear?
I don't know. I'd have to look at them side by side.
There's no place in America for this kind of violence. It's sick. It's sick. It's one of the reasons why we have to unite this country. We cannot allow for this to be happening. We cannot be like this. We cannot condone this. And I want to thank the Secret Service and all the agencies, including the state agencies, that have been engaged in making sure that the people and we have more detail to come relative to other people maybe injured in the audience.
God damn it, dude.
I don't have all that detail. We'll make that available to you. I may be able to come back a little later tonight, but we'll put out.
I'm so like this shit. We got idiots running everything right now. I'm just like, I can't. It's so hopeless to me, and I hate it. I hate feeling that way. It's just like the whole political landscape is so fucked right now.
We should probably just ask every presidential question we'd ask the president and get insight from the president on. We should probably just type that into ChatGPT and let ChatGPT run the country from here on out.
A statement if I'm not able to give
I was going to vote for Trump, but now that he has a deformed ear, I gotta vote for Biden. Biden 2024.
I gotta be real with you. That's the same reason I won't fap to Megan Fox with her long ass fingers.
Oh damn.
Not convenient for you all. But the bottom line is that the Trump rally was a rally that he should have been able to be conducted peacefully without any problem. But the idea that there's political violence or violence in America like this is just unheard of. It's just not appropriate. And everybody must condemn it. everybody. I'll keep you informed, and if I am able to speak to Donald, I'll let you know that as well. But so far, it appears he's doing well, number one. Number two, that they're thoroughly investigating what happened to anyone else in the audience. We have some reports, but not final reports. And every agency in the federal government, I'm going back to my phone to speak with the federal agencies.
He's struggling, right? Am I not the only?
I mean, to be fair, he did have that stutter. He does have the speech impediment. So like a little bit of a struggle, I think we're okay with. It's when he starts saying really weird things, and then you're wondering how often is it motor skills versus brain, right?
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Put together again to give me an updated briefing. Has anything happened? They learned any more in the last couple hours. So thank you very much, and I hope I get to speak to him tonight, and I'll get back to you if I do, okay?
Mr. President, do you think there was an assassination attempt?
I don't know enough to...
What? I mean, like, someone shot at Trump, right? And almost shot him, like, in the skull, right?
Yeah, I mean...
So, is that not I mean, like, I don't care. You can call it whatever you want, but...
Yeah,
I mean,
if I was Biden, I'd be like, it sure as fuck seems like it.
I have an opinion, but I don't have any facts. So I want to make sure...
I don't have facts to back this up.
We have all the facts before I make any more comments. Thank you.
Are you worried, President, with the security failing
the president stopping short of calling this an assassination attempt, but just noting that he plans to talk to Donald Trump and that his understanding is the former
They're on a
president
first
is
name basis now.
doing well.
Donald
President
Trump.
Biden speaking out against the scourge of political violence, saying there's no
I feel
room
hella
for this.
bad for the people behind him that died. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, that's insane. That's
like when you go to a Trump rally, you like being the president, there's a definite chance that you're going to have an assassination attempt against you. We've known that through history. We've known that just across the world, political people have all beyond politics.
Yeah, like
Kings
the
have
Pope,
been assassinated.
the Pope, like Pope John Paul II was shot. He didn't die, but he was. That's why they gave him the bubble mobile to ride around in.
So
Reagan
you think
was,
people now are not going to want to sit behind Trump? You think they will even let people sit behind?
I don't know what
politicians
they're going
anymore?
to do. We'll see some big changes because of this. I don't know what they'll change, but they're going to change something. And they're saying, because I was watching the coverage setting up the stream, they were saying this shooter somehow managed to get high ground that they shouldn't have allowed. Like he wasn't within the security perimeter, but he had like high ground, so he got a shot. Couple shots, one very close.
Very close.
Yeah.
Like, could you believe being that close and missing? Wow.
And as we had reported a few moments ago, the Biden campaign.
Well, there were
people
plenty
are
of
calling him
misses.
Teflon. Well, yeah, but I mean, like, not being that close and not securing the target.
First hit Jesus. Now it's 4 a.m. I should peanuts.
Yeah, you better peanuts, dude. People are calling him Teflon Don already.
They've been calling him that for a long time, though, right? Because nothing sticks
Now
to
it's
him.
yeah, and now it's also bullets.
Moving to take down its advertising, a pause in its political advertising.
Matt Jarbo
in
says,
the-
"What was the shooter a stormtrooper? What if Donald Trump has plot armor, right?"
Here's Trump's response on Truth Social.
Post on his online platform, Truth Social, Lester, in which the former president says, and I will read this in full, because obviously this is the first time that we are now hearing from the former president himself since this incident at his rally in Butler. He says, I want to thank the United States Secret Service and all of law enforcement for their rapid response on the shooting that just took place in Butler, Pennsylvania.
Man, that ear does not look mangled. But it's definitely, it looks like it's got the full shape to it, right?
Most importantly, the former president continues, I want to extend my condolences to the family of the person at the rally who was killed, and also to the family of another person that was badly
You shot me,
injured.
but you punks didn't finish. Now you bound to feel the
About to
wrath
feel
of
the
a menace.
wrath
Trump
of a
probably.
menace. I hit him up. And not only that, not only did Trump survive a barrage of gunshots, Not only has he got a mugshot, he's a felon. He's got Amber Rose riding with him now. Amber Rose is on his tip. Trump is about to be the dopest rapper of 2024. That's a fact.
He goes on to say, it is incredible that such an act can take place in our country. He also adds, nothing is known at this time about the shooter who is now dead. The former president says he was shot with a bullet that pierced the upper part of my right ear. You're looking at that online post now. So he is confirming, he says that he was
literally described the assassination attempt as an ear piercing. Literally described it as an ear
It's like
piercing.
he went to the mall and they used one of those like ear piercing guns on him.
That's literally, they literally said it pierced his ear.
I went to Claire's at the mall and they used a piercing gun on me. Now I'm icing it. It's a little swollen.
This is like a $1 zillion bullet wound. It's just close enough to be an aesthetic premium for him. When he goes and fists his pump afterwards, shows they didn't get him. Like, that's some WrestleMania level booking. Like, that's crazy how perfect that was.
Shot with a bullet that pierced the upper part of his right ear. He says, I knew immediately that something was wrong and that I heard a whizzing sound, shots, and immediately felt the bullet ripping through the skin. Much bleeding took place, so I realized then what was happening. And he ends this post by saying, God bless America. So, Lester, some significant questions.
It said the bleeding, and I could feel the bleeding, and I'm thinking, did Trump lose his virginity? Did he pop his cherry?
He could hear a whizzing sound, he said. Oh, by the way, please like the stream. If you haven't already, all of you, please like the stream a lot. Like the stream a lot.
Yeah, everybody like this stream, or else, you could be next.
That are being answered now from the former president here as to what happened, as to how he's doing, as to his state of mind. And again, significant in that he is describing in rather vivid detail the moment when he says that bullet went through his ear. He heard the whizzing sound. You're seeing some of these images now, including some that are being circulated by his allies with the former president, his fist raised in the air. He said he felt the bullet ripping through the skin with a lot of bleeding taking
place. Like face war paint blood stripe across his face. Like if I was a pro wrestler, tomorrow night on whatever next wrestling show I was in, I would have the Trump blood paint on my face, and I would go full Trump MAGA wrestling supporter. This is the biggest thing to happen in 20 years? This is crazy.
This is crazy.
Place. What we don't know now is where the former president, is headed next. We understand that he is obviously getting treated at that local medical facility.
Like, whatever you thought you were going to do by shooting Trump, unless making him a Kim Jong-il level god in the eyes of his supporters was your plan, you failed big time.
He's pumping his fist in victory while getting gangbanged by the Secret Service.
The only way it should be.
No, from his son, and I will tell you from other sources that I've spoken with that he appears to be in good spirits. That is what folks are being told, and that his son, who has spoken with him,
Trump requested an all-white security Secret Service.
I think he requested the one that would be in the front of him to be the woman. Have you noticed that? The one that's like pressing her body up against him, like
any Secret Service member that has to cover my penis and press against my penis must be a hot blonde.
Directly says, and you see the former president able to, obviously in these videos,
Man,
this image
dude literally just got shot, and he's got his arm around a blonde already. I'm not Team Trump, guys, but it's really hard not to be. It's really hard not to be right now. Guy gets shot and walks out with a blonde around his arm. I'm saying
we've been showing able to move, able to pump his fist, but you see the blood that he's talking about there on his right ear.
Yeah, this is the biggest thing that happened since January 6th.
Yeah.
Can you believe more people died at this Trump assassination than January 6th?
I mean, some people died like after January 6th due to injuries they got from January 6th. I don't know. I don't know the raw
numbers. If we count January 8th and 9th, yeah.
Here's Here's some interviews they were doing of people.
Another in critical condition.
Because, like, there's a traffic jam trying to get out of there right now.
So you had some pretty heart-wrenching interviews today. People saw a lot of things you can't unsee.
Yeah, Lester, that's absolutely right. People who came to a Trump rally, some of them for the first time, looking forward to seeing the former president. There was music playing, people selling merchandise, people.
Before we get too deep into this, can I pose a question?
Sure.
This is Saturday Night Live always covers news events and stuff. Do they touch this one?
Probably not, because like innocent people were killed and stuff. Yeah.
And on top of it, they still have Alec Baldwin playing Trump for them, don't they?
I have no idea. I don't watch SNL anymore.
And you
I don't think
want to
so.
have Alec
I don't think they
Baldwin.
do, though.
You don't want to have Alec Baldwin doing a Trump skit about someone getting shot. That's not going to be good either.
I was really surprised that Steven was in the courtroom when they dismissed his charges.
Yeah, that's a family.
Yeah, but they have such different political values, and I remember when Baldwin was doing the Trump thing on SNL, they interviewed Steven about it, and he did not like it at all. He was kind of mad about it, like he's like, But yeah, that's cool though that they get along.
Money Matt Jarbo's in the chat and says SNL is currently on break, and they have a new actor who plays Trump.
Yeah.
Thank
People
you, Money
reuniting
Matt Jarbo,
with
for
friends
that
here, not expecting anything like this. Let me just set the scene for you right now. We are in the parking lot outside of the venue. Sirkin, our cameraman, is going to show you. People are kind of in a traffic jam right now. This was a one-way in, one-way out kind of.
She interviews this
there.
woman.
We've been hearing some of these stories. Can you just walk us through what you saw?
Absolutely. President Trump was up there, and then within 5 minutes, we're hearing pop, 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 pop. And then everybody's on the ground. Everybody's on the floor. And it was just like, what? And we were on the ground level. We were 4 rows back from the stage. And are you coming?
We'll just follow along with you. They're moving in the car here, so we'll just
from the stage. And the people in the bleachers behind us, somebody got popped. Somebody got killed. Somebody died. Somebody got shot. Like this close to where we were. Those bullets, I pray to God for these people's families. Oh my God. But the how is this happening in our country today?
It is crazy. It is kind of, it's gotten to a very toxic level at this point.
How is this happening? Maybe this party should try and do something about gun violence.
Yeah, I guess we'll figure out who the shooter was and how they got their weapons or whatever.
I'm pretty sure someone who tries to take out the president can get a gun, no matter how tight security is. If you're willing to go after a former president of the United States of America, I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to get your hands on something. We'll never be that tightly secured.
Why? Why is it happening? Why?
And Tracy, you were telling me earlier, you and Tyler, this county, this area. Did you ever think something like this would happen here?
Never. Absolutely never.
You see all the militarized people with the machine guns and shit.
This shows you how much hate.
Are those SWAT guys? I see like a black suit, but then I look like there is military there too.
Yeah, there's a few different agencies there, and then the Secret Service agents are just like shielding Trump back there.
What if Trump got shot at, was completely missed? When he dropped down, as he was down, he was thinking to himself, I gotta come up bleeding. And he pulls like a pin out of his suit and just nicks his ear as hard as he can and actually does blade. Like that was such a perfect shot for a photograph.
Hostility
crazy.
is
only shoot me blade
in our world today. This is not a good thing. We need to all come together as a human race. We need to help each other out.
Can you describe this area, this county, this place that you and Tyler grew up?
Tyler. Rural.
He's like rural.
Rural. Cows, chickens. This is farmland. This is farmland here.
Butler, that's the county seat. but most of the county's private farmland. So it's people are pretty.
It looks. Look at the shit show behind them. Like in the background
that's
here.
Also parking too, right? Like,
well, people are trying to get out because it's over now. You know, it's like if you're at like a concert or a big sporting event and you try to leave, there's always like, so
it'll look like this when you're leaving a drive-in movie theater too.
Yeah.
Like this is kind of how it's all set up.
One.
And Tracy, we talked about, often Trump rallies, people are coming to celebrate, to see the former president. They're coming in with a pretty excited attitude. Can you walk me through what you came in with and what you're coming out with?
I came in with hope and excitement. If you have you ever been to a Trump rally?
Oh, we cover them all the time.
This is funny. Yeah, because the reporter covers them all the time. This is so funny, this part.
Well, how does it make you feel?
She's like, she asked the reporter, how does it make you feel?
How does it make you feel? How are you feeling?
It makes me feel absolutely great and wonderful. In my heart, I feel that this man really wants to help our country because I really feel that. I honest to God, I do, because this country.
I love how the reporter like refused to like answer that question.
How do you feel? Because it's not about me. I'm the reporter.
Yeah.
If you want to be honest, I get tired of this shit.
For so long seems to be going down a path that it really shouldn't be doing.
So, you came in to hear the former president speak, someone you're a fan of, and what is your state of mind now?
Not good. There's too much hate. This is too much. We can't do this as a country. We can't do this.
We're doing it.
We need to come together as a country, and God willing, we will. I don't know if you're allowed to put that stuff on, but
I
listen,
feel like
man,
this is just going to make it worse. I hope not.
I think
we're going to look at Twitter, and there's all kinds of crazy shit being said on there.
We probably need to do like some sort of buddy system in America where we take one liberal and one conservative and make them go out to dinner together, and they have to sit down and like eat like a little pasta, have a little conversation, tell each other about their like family and their dreams. And then afterwards, if you still hate the other party, then fight. That'd be fun. Do a reality TV show like Date Night Fight.
my kid is a fourth-year seminarian, and he prays for this country every day. My child.
What's a seminarian? Is that a religious thing?
Yeah, that's where, like, depending on the religion, that's where, like, a minister or a priest would go to school to get, like, the education to become a priest or a minister or whatever, the name is for that religion.
Casey, thank you so much. I'm so glad you and Tyler are safe. Drive safe. We hope you get home soon. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Thanks, guys.
Lester, they've got
It does sound like a factory for semen, though. Like, I work at the seminary.
I was like, wait a second.
Ways to go still. There's a lot of cars piling up here. There are a few different places that people are trying to exit at this point. A bit of a free-for-all.
All right.
Lester, so we made it
out
of the venue area. We have
I
all
love these
evacuated.
country
Again, press,
bumpkins.
attendees, everyone who was there is now out of the area. We are currently in the parking lot. Again, there
These
were
are
thousands of people at this
Pennsylvania's
rally, as
finest.
there are at many rallies. There are a lot of cars in this parking lot, all looking to leave. As we were getting ready to speak with you, we just ran into Joe and Donna, a mother-son, who say that they were right
Someone
there. They
in the
were
chat
in the
says
area.
DP fan right there. Obviously not from this generation of DP.
Where
Everyone, please like the stream if you haven't already. Thank you so much.
where this happened. Donna, let me start with you. First of all, are you okay?
Yes, I'm shook. I'm definitely shook up, but I'm okay. Yeah, and Trump was talking, watching him. I heard pop, pop, pop. I thought it was like a cap gun. And my son's like, gun, get down. And next thing you know, everybody around us was down. And then once we got down, up at the top of our bleacher, the men were yelling to all the snipers and all the cops to come over because he had shot a man and a woman in our bleacher. We heard the one is very fatal. We don't know that for sure, but they were down. They went out on grenades.
So Joe, what exactly did you see? Because from our vantage point, we couldn't see what was going on. We didn't see any individuals. All we could do was listen for those sounds. But what did you see?
Again, I was watching the president, and you hear the gunshots go off. Remarks from up top said that the shooter actually climbed up the back of the bleacher. And after we got down,
This
like my
fucker's
mom
about to
said,
say yins, isn't
there was
he?
2 people down. They were calling for medics.
It depends on where in Pennsylvania this is. I didn't look it up. It'd be Yins if it's like near Pittsburgh.
We did see the 2 people that were shot.
Pennsylvania's huge.
And we saw them
like,
get carried out.
for a state in that
Like, I
part of
don't
the
know.
country.
The one didn't look like they were okay.
Yeah.
I hope the other one's okay, and just may God watch over them tonight.
And Don,
I looked down at them
you
and I said, I hope Yins are all right.
people, were these 2 people fellow attendees of the rally, and what kind of did you see them get shot directly, or did you just see the aftermath?
No, you just heard the noise. You heard the pop, 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 seeing the aftermath.
Pop, pop, pop.
And neither of them looked good. They were both down. Nobody was talking. Nobody was moving.
What was going through your mind as you were witnessing all of this?
Are they still here? And am I going to get shot? That's what's going through my mind. We're here.
What a relief it is.
He's holding my hand, and we were going to get up and try to get out of here, and some gentleman there said, no, you stay down. So we stayed down, and then we finally heard everybody evacuate, and he grabbed my hand, and we got out of there.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah. Tense scene.
Now, I do want to say, Ben, Joe Biden was hesitant to call this an assassination because he knows what this really was. This was just bloodletting.
Will be where the delegates will be. And so again, Lester, this is a moment for a reset, undoubtedly, when those who are planning the Republican National Convention, the security
the convention's supposed to start tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. I don't know.
Man, dude, the ratings for that are going to be through the frickin' roof. They can't delay it, right?
I don't know. I think they can. A lot of people thought that Trump was going to announce his VP candidate today. He has to do it soon. It has to be. I'm pretty sure it has to be done before the convention's over. I thought, but I don't know the rules.
What if it's Vince McMahon?
It's not going to be, but that would be hilarious.
And the family of the spectator killed in this horrific attack. We will not tolerate.
Now there's all these public statements, like the one on the screen right now, being released.
The Justice Department will bring every available resource to bear to this investigation.
Yeah.
So there again, you have the Attorney General echoing what we have heard.
This footage is like the footage and the photos Trump can definitely use. Because you know the conspiracy theorists out there that like the QAnon ones that believe the deep state want to take out Trump. There you have it. This is like something they can point to as evidence.
Yeah.
Do you remember that Doug TenNapel was willing to bet me that Trump would be assassinated before the election? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
But I didn't do it because I was like, well, he could just croak for any reason and you'd think he was assassinated, you know, but
was the attempt on the table, or would it have to be a follow through?
We didn't discuss the details, but I would have only have bet based on like an actual death.
Yeah. Man, this man literally fist pumped after it. This is
these
crazy.
photos are huge, like,
and he's literally got a blonde woman in front of him too. Like this is
that's
the
what I was
least gay.
saying.
This is the most manly getting shot president of all time.
On this
What the hell?
Day. We want to bring in Evie Pamporos again, a former Secret Service agent. If I can continue the conversation we were having with Kristen with you regarding strengthening the security, potentially strengthening the security of the Republican National Committee.
Thank you, Behemoth. Thank you so much.
Considering it was already a high threat.
Send us your thoughts, preferably in the form of a Streamlabs. It's pinned at the top of the chat right there.
Its footprint.
Well, here's the thing. They're going to do more and a lot more. So there is a lot more that can be done. For one, it's not just the U.S. Secret Service that's got the manpower.
I mean,
The
I already
majority
thought he
of
was
the
going to
manpower
win.
Doesn't come from the Secret Service.
I already thought he was
The
going to
majority
win.
Of the manpower comes
So,
from the local police department. The men
but yeah,
and
this
women
is
that
really
work
going to help
locally and
him.
for the
I think.
state.
I think
So
the
you're going to
Democrats
see
almost
an
now
upscale of the
absolutely have to
state
replace
and the local
Biden
police
and run
entities
somebody
coming in to
else.
secure
But
the
I don't know.
RNC.
What do you think?
That's where the upscale.
What do the
is gonna take
Democrats
place.
have to do at
Because
this
they
point?
too don't want anything
What do they have to
happening on
lose
their
either
watch,
way?
on their ground.
I feel
Like,
like they'd stand a better chance running somebody else.
it's not a big agency. Yes,
It's too bad the shooter didn't survive. They could have ran him.
absolutely. But in the end, they work together and in harmony with all the local entities. The local departments, the local police, the state police, they're the one who come in with the manpower. And that's what you're going to see. You're probably also going to see a lot of uniforms. And why am I saying this?
went by a lot.
When you do a security venue, you design your security
God,
plan
there's so many
around a lot of
photos of
different
this
things.
now.
One of the things
What kind
you
of
think
guns
about
are
is
those? I don't know
uniforms.
guns
How many
well.
uniforms do I want?
Those like military-looking
I want
guys.
a lot of uniforms. Do you know why?
Luckily,
Something
it
as
hid the
simple as
Bible he
seeing
keeps in
men
his
and
ear at
women
all
in
times.
police uniforms is a massive deterrent.
I
So you're
saw
going to see this
I saw Big
huge
Diesel in the chat mention Teddy Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt got shot and he had a speech written on paper and it was really long, folded up in his pocket, and it helped stop the bullet, like it shielded him a little bit to where the impact wasn't as bad. But he had the bullet lodged in his chest the rest of his life. It's pretty crazy.
Another person who has an unhealthy or special interest in one of these protectees is going to say, huh,
People are
this
saying
guy did it.
Beretta.
Or, yeah, we don't know.
Is that
I can do it too.
An M4A?
An M4A? I don't know guns,
Going
so.
to think that they can do this. So you've got this concern. Now, going back to the investigative arm of it, you're going to look at, well, the FBI is really going to be the investigative entity.
This
here,
woman that's
and
talking
this
is former
why.
Secret
Some
Service.
people
I was
would presume
watching
the Secret Service would be.
her talk
They are
earlier.
not. By design, FBI comes
Yeah.
in. This is kind of a checks and balances system because let's say, and we're not saying any of this is true, but the Secret Service can't investigate itself. The FBI is going to look at how did this happen? Did any?
Yeah, there is going to be an
did all the
investigation
security
on
measures
the
go into place
failure to
correctly? If there
stop
was a
something like
special
this from
interest, If there were
happening.
people of interest that the Secret Service was looking at, did
They're
they
saying
vet all these
people are
correctly?
saying
So you
he was
want
on
an
top of a
outside
building.
entity like the FBI to come in to do this investigation.
I mean,
That's what I'm
Kennedy,
hearing, yeah.
Kennedy was shot out of the window of
Now,
a
also, in
building,
the Secret
allegedly.
Service, there's a protective intelligence arm.
Unless there was,
What does that
someone
mean?
on the grassy
These
knoll.
are the men and women that look at the threats that come in. As you can imagine, protectees, presidents, former presidents, all sorts of folks. There are a lot of threats that come in. And one of the
Everybody who
issues
says
is
this secures the election, a lot can happen in 4 months.
attention to, and what is not.
4 months.
And it can be really
If this
difficult to-
escalates,
Is it 4 months or 4 weeks? Yeah, it's 4 months, right?
What do I
Oh, yeah,
think
it's
is
November.
minimal or not
Yeah, I'm like, wait a second.
they're gonna go
Yeah,
back
it's in
and they're gonna
November.
look.
4 weeks, we
This
can't get it
individual,
done.
No,
were
no,
they
no.
of any interest? Were there any indicators of this specific person? Had they made any comments, posts? What was going on? And had they ever come into the radar or realm of the U.S. Secret Service or any other local police entity? And if so, what happened? Did they interview this person? Did they decide that the person was not of any interest? That's going to come into play. And even when it comes to protective intelligence, they classify people. Now, I can't get into the nuances for, classified reasons, but there's a way to classify folks, whether somebody is considered a really high threat. You know what? This person is super dangerous. We have to be careful. We want police involved.
There are
Maybe if there's a mental
some
health issue,
situations where Trump could lose footing here. Like, if it comes out that he shits himself while simping for Ocasio-Cortez, he might lose some voters.
that the Secret Service protects.
Evie, let me ask you, how big a chill do you think this has cast over people who do what you do, people who, work in the Secret Service and run these security operations, to see one of their protectees being taken to a vehicle bloodied? How does that affect the people that do this?
It's a big deal. It's a massive big deal. I mean, as I'm sitting here, I've been on standby with you guys. My phone's
A lot of
blowing up.
people are
All the
calling
former
this an
agents are people
assassination
I know.
attempt. Let's really call it what it really is.
This is
Ah,
not
you see that dude flipping off the camera?
Fuck you! Ah! That's a good thing. You know why? Because security plans are put into place so you can minimize this stuff. But I have to say, you can only control so many things. These open rallies, they are really difficult. And I wonder if moving forward, we're going to see less and less of these.
Vice President Trump survives.
She just said she wouldn't be surprised if we're going to see less rallies, and that's Trump. Trump loves those. Even when he was right after he got elected president, he was doing rallies still.
What if Trump starts Twitch streaming instead?
He can do hot tub streams. He can ride a giant inflatable pickle.
A reset.
Yeah, he shows up at Kai Cenat's house with Amber Rose.
He could do ASMR where he like sucks on these weird rubber ear microphone thingies.
Hey everybody, I brought Amber Rose here for the GAT.
When the Secret Service
says,
hey, this is
we're gonna send her to Ohio if I lose. GAT.
Does the Secret Service have to educate the protectees? Are they, do they get a briefing about what to expect if something like this occurs? What to do? How to react?
They do get a briefing. They obviously know where to stand, where not to move. So if you look at podiums, and again, a lot of the podiums, not this one specifically, but most podiums, especially the president, a lot of them are ballistic in nature, so they understand, hey, when you're speaking,
ballistic
don't step away
podium.
from the podium, or if they do step
What
away,
if Trump
it's choreographed.
shows up to these rallies in like a modified Pope mobile, a Trump mobile?
He needs like a suit that's like it's like a Pope mobile, but he can like walk in it like Iron Man.
If Trump gets a mech suit, holy crap, a mech suit would be nuts.
Trump.
Oh my dude, like I'd vote for him. I'm sorry, I don't care. He could have my best interests in the rearview mirror. He could literally want to kill fat people, and I'd be like, let's do it.
I think Lex Luthor had like a in the 80s. Lex Luthor had like a power suit thing that he wore, and he could fly and shit like Superman.
Ridiculous, really?
Yep. Yes.
Selected by Mr. Trump, and that will be one more candidate you'll have to protect.
Oh, I was thinking Lex Luger, the wrestler. I'm like,
oh.
Until you said Superman, I was like, wait. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And look, right
he
now
could.
it's all hands on deck.
It looked like this.
Yeah, we need Trump's to be gold, right?
Yeah.
They have an investigative arm.
It should have more of a dome.
Investigators. They work criminal investigations, fraud, counterfeit money, all sorts of things. Actually, they were created April 14th, 1865. President Lincoln.
The Secret Service is actually part of the Department of the Treasury. Isn't it weird that that's the organization that protects the president?
Yeah, when some people I know got in trouble for counterfeiting money, they sent the Secret Service after them.
Some people?
Presidential candidates.
Some people I know.
The government stepped in and said, U.S. Secret Service, will you now do protection? So during campaign years, all the criminal investigations stop, all these other things stop because the manpower goes
Toma
to
Goes
protection.
Vaxi says,
And
why
look, the
none
world
of
is
you credit
watching.
Biden for
Right now,
delivering
we're
an excellent speech after this shooting? That's the president that knows how to talk in a critical situations. It was a fine speech, but he literally, when they asked him if it looked like an assassination attempt, he's like, I don't want to say anything yet. I was like, come on. All you got to say is, doesn't it look like one to you? That's all you got to say.
What does it mean symbolically to the world, not just to the American people, when somebody can cause harm to one of the most powerful world leaders? It sends a message, and it's also the image of the U.S.
Yeah,
it can either strengthen us or weaken us, and perception
I'm guessing Reagan was the last time. Well, Reagan was
I do believe
sitting,
so.
but he was sitting president, so it's not exactly the same thing. But he was still. I mean, he's the top.
Trump's not currently president either, right? So
no, Reagan was sitting president though when he got shot.
Oh, okay. Sorry, yeah.
In Pennsylvania, Abby, thank you. We'll hopefully be able to come back to you here shortly. Our viewers just joining us. We are on the air with rolling breaking coverage. We have been covering the shooting at Donald Trump's Pennsylvania rally this evening. The former president has been injured in what appears to be an apparent assassination attempt. The Secret Service says the president is safe. Tonight, Donald Trump posted on Truth Social that he was, in fact, hit with a bullet that pierced the upper part of his right ear. He said that he felt it ripping through his skin. What I want to do again here is pause. We're going to roll the video of what happened just shortly after 6 p.m. here on the East Coast while Mr. Trump was speaking. And listen carefully. You'll hear the sound of the gunshots and what appears to be the moments right after that until he is rushed into his car. Here it is.
A little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
So close. Oh, my God. You can see it, kind of. You can, like, see, like, something move.
Someone in our chat said that Trump moved his head last minute or else it would have killed him. I don't know if that's true.
I don't know.
It's a very interesting angle for them to hit him from.
Move his bear. Hold. When you're ready. On you. Ready. Move. Up. Move. Go.
They're trying to move Trump, and Trump's like, wait a second. Photo up. Got to get my photo up. Can't move. Hold on. Need one for the camera.
Shooters down.
Wait a second.
Trump's like, let me get my shoes.
Hold on, you're ready.
Let me get my shoes.
So we gotta move to the car.
Did he take them off?
I guess.
Watch out.
Wait. He's like, wait, I need a photo op.
Gotta get my photo up.
The mic is still hot up there, so you can hear what they're saying.
Yeah, I just realized he said, let me get my shoes.
Yep.
When he was down there, he had the blade in his shoes.
Oh my God.
He had to take his shoes off to pull the blade out. He used the blade to cut his ear. Oh my goodness. Guys, it's all a farce.
And that is the point that he's put in the car and taken to a medical facility. Here's what we know right now. If you're just joining us, the gunman fired a weapon from a high point outside the perimeter of the rally. So outside the Secret Service security area, if you will. The shooter, described as a male, is dead. Also, a spectator who was attending the rally has been killed, and 2 others who were there were critically injured, according to the Secret Service.
Damn.
President Biden has been briefed. He addressed the nation a little while ago.
Please like the stream if you haven't already. We appreciate it.
The Trump rally was a rally that he should have been able to can be conducted peacefully without any problem. But the idea that there's political violence or violence in America like this is just unheard of. It's just not appropriate. And everybody must condemn it. Everybody.
And former President Trump has issued a statement.
I went to the grocery store to get some iced tea before I came here, and the checkout guy was like, "Yeah, wish they would have got him." And then the lady in the line was like, "You know, you probably have to be careful where you say that."
Yeah.
His son Don Jr. weighed in, saying his dad is in great spirits. His daughter Ivanka wrote on social media, thanking supporters for their love and prayers for her father and the other victims of today's senseless violence. And another important note, Mr. Trump says he looks forward to attending the Republican convention in Milwaukee this coming week.
This has got to be the most photogenic assassination of all time.
Tom Witter, who has more on the investigation.
He did kind of nail the mugshot,
too. A statement we received just moments ago from the FBI. They say, they've assumed the role of the lead federal law
Trump is like the Tupac of presidents or something.
Man.
He survived an assassination attempt. He got a mugshot.
Tupac ate some bullets. 50 Cent ate some bullets. Trump got his ear pierced. But yeah, it's pretty close.
We will continue to support
this does not mean that
investigation with the
right.
full resources
Trump
of the
didn't
FBI
die. Okay.
alongside our partners.
I don't think
at
we
the
ever
US Secret Service,
I think he did
state
say
and
Trump
local
would be
law enforcement.
assassinated,
Tonight, they're
like
asking anybody
killed.
that might have any information
You guys would
about
have to go
what
back
led up to
and
the shooting today
watch
and the
that
shooting itself
episode.
To call 1-800-CALL FBI. So that's the latest statement we just received moments ago from the FBI, who has taken the lead on this. They'll work with the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Western District of Pennsylvania.
If he does announce Vince McMahon as his vice president running mate, I'm going to say this is kayfabe. Okay.
And get the information to continue to pursue this
too
investigation.
on the nose
as
at
you
that
have been
point.
talking about now for several hours. As far as what we know, we still do not yet have a name of the alleged shooter in this incident. The shooter, based on images, video, and descriptions from law enforcement that we've seen, appears to be, if you were to look at the former president head on from the video that we've been looking at, appears to have been off to his right, and that the shooting was, we've been described to us as several hundred yards away.
Pumping.
That the shooter was on top of an
He was like,
surface.
wait, I got to get my photo op. All right, I got it. Let's go.
And then law enforcement obviously rushed to where the shots were coming from. How many shots were specifically fired from the shooter and from the Secret Service or maybe other members of law enforcement? We just don't know. He has been described as a male, and that's really the only information that we have. His specific motives or background, is he somebody who law enforcement has ever been in contact with before? Those are all questions that we are asking. We've been asking, and we're
so you
trying
think
to,
Trump will try to,
you,
like,
of course, as soon as possible.
advocate
as far as where
against
things go from here,
gun
there's
rights
obviously
now?
a convention involving this candidate.
I don't
starting in
think. I
just
don't
a-
think he
a
will mess
day
with gun
plus
rights
time,
over this.
and he is
You don't
expected
think so?
to address the
Reasonably,
RNC,
this is not a situation where like some kid got a hold of a gun and
he was
went to
almost
his-
killed.
Yeah, but he is very. This is very much a good thing for Trump.
Okay.
It really sucks for the people who died, but like, there's that story of rappers who wanted a career boost and they'd have their friends shoot them in the leg.
And the presumptive Republican nominee. And so this changes the game radically. The New York City Police Department tonight beefing up their presence outside of the Trump Tower, just a couple of blocks from where you and I are sitting up Fifth Avenue, where, of course, the former president has a residence. Now, he hasn't been staying there. His new residence is Mar-a-Lago in Florida, as you know. But they have beefed up out of an abundance of caution. No specific
Florida.
that something would happen at Trump Tower. But I think based on the events today, you can see any of the Trump properties where he has stayed, where he might stay, to face an increased law enforcement presence until everybody figures out exactly what's going on here.
How
We've
long
seen
do
no
you think before
indication
we
that there are
know
any
the
other individuals
reported
involved. On
identity
the other
of
hand,
the
nobody
shooter?
so far has told us that there are no
Well,
other individuals
so far,
involved, and that's obviously
we have the reported gender. Some people are suggesting that it's a transgendered shooter, which I think is.
God, who?
I think it's just people in the chat are absolutely mad, just trying to like pin this on.
That's
like if it turns out it was
what?
I mean, that's ridiculous to be saying that right now.
East Coast tonight, acutely aware of what happened today and following it very closely. And as you and I have discussed on numerous occasions,
Ghazi Kodzo is in prison, so it can't be him.
We are no doubt in a heightened threat environment. They've been very concerned about the idea of
Twitter is saying it's a trans immigrant Antifa.
Oh my God, Twitter, like crazy people on Twitter.
All right, Tom Winter, our
Elon Musk supported Trump openly after this.
Look at this. All right, let's do.
His Delaware weekend and heading back to the White House, apparently as a result of.
It's all about Versace. You copied my style. 5 shots couldn't drop me. I took it and smiled.
Dasha, earlier we saw people. You were talking to people who were leaving the rally site. Were any of
the public has been conditioned to believe Trump is Hitler, when in reality he's Churchill.
Yeah, Lester, one of the gentlemen.
Ask Biden if he thinks Trump is someone cared. Wow, this is badly written.
Welcome to Twitter.
Just next to him, a couple of yards away at the rally.
Elon invent a bulletproof suit, bubble suit Trump can wear to stay protected.
Hey, we were just talking about that.
Do it, Elon. Make a Tesla mech for Trump. Please,
Tesla
please,
mech.
We spoke with him.
please,
We've been in this parking lot.
please.
Here you see now night has fallen in Butler County. This parking lot that was just recently filled with thousands and thousands of cars. People who came here for a political rally, never thinking that something like this would happen here.
Oh, you can see the bullet in this picture.
Interesting.
Now this lot
Now, Ben, I know you're scouring through Twitter. Is you got a safe mode on Twitter?
Let me double check. I'm pretty sure I do.
Because just to double check, because like there's definitely some corn stars that have the name Trump, and I don't know if that would find its way in, but I wouldn't be surprised with Twitter.
And I want to introduce him to you now. And as we just learned, Joseph, you weren't listening to the program here, but Lester Holt.
This guy's built like a house.
Reporting that one of the attendees has deceased, has died from injuries.
So there's a thing that says display media that may contain sensitive content, and there's a checkbox, and it is not checked.
Okay, hopefully that's safe enough.
I was attending the rally. I was in the set of bleachers, the very far left of the podium where President Trump was speaking. I was there with friends. I heard several gunshots. The man beside me suffered a gunshot wound to the head, was instantly killed. Fell to the bottom of the bleachers. Another woman looked like she got hit in the forearm or hand. And then at that point in time, it was rather chaotic at that point because half the people were looking because they thought it was fireworks. I knew it was gunshots right away. My friend, he hit the deck. I was kind of looking around just trying to see where the shots were coming from. It seemed to me like the shots were coming from behind the bleachers. It seemed to me the man got hit in the head from behind.
So they were coming from behind the bleachers.
He was killed instantly, as far as I could tell.
Behind Trump,
at that point,
not like towards him. He wasn't looking at the shooter. The shooter was behind him.
Started evacuating the bleachers, and then I helped carry the man out of the bleachers to a tent that was behind.
How does
Lester,
that happen from behind?
One of the several harrowing stories that we heard from
How does he get that
eyewitnesses
wound
today.
from
People
behind?
of all ages, people talking about the children that they saw, who they are so concerned about, who obviously are going to live with this trauma for the rest of their lives. Our own
We did not
team,
comment on the guy
myself,
saying
my
within
producer,
earshot, did we?
Within earshot.
Henry, our embed Jake, we were all there. We were all in the press.
That is hilarious.
Shots first ring out. All of us initially thinking,
oh my
this must be
God.
fireworks. There's no way this could happen here. We know how intense the security is around these events, and then coming to realize the reality of the situation, that it was in fact what we fear most when we think about the divisive political environment that we are in right now.
Yeah, so what do you think are the chances that there might be a retaliation?
Behind the former president.
I don't even know if either of them are going to do rallies at this point, but I guess we'll see.
It's a good reason for Biden not to, right?
On the side of him, where there was a chart showing immigration statistics. He turned to point at the moment that she saw that blood come out of his ear, that we now know from his own Truth Social post was a bullet grazing his ear. She says if he hadn't turned his head at that very moment, things could have been very different for the former president and the current Republican candidate for president of the United States, Lester.
Yeah, I think anybody that looks at that picture comes to the same conclusion how close this was. Dasha, thanks. Rico Elmore was at the Trump rally.
He was just telling his
event. He
people
was an
to fight,
eyewitness and says he
right?
saw someone get hit by gunfire and rush to their side. He joins me on the phone. Rico, where were you in relation to the president?
So I was about 15, 20 feet to the president's right. I was a special guest, being that I spoke today with a few other friends of mine. We were speaking as well. And, yeah, I was like 15, 20 feet away.
And then as the shots
Rico
rang out, did you
Elmore
identify
sounds
them as
like a
shots
pimp's
right away? How
name.
did you react?
So a part of me thought they were fireworks. It was like a split mental thought, because I'm like, oh, you can't have a gun or anything in this area because of the security measures that are in place. It's impossible. So my brain says, that's a firework going off. How did I get here? Who knows? But it's something small. And then I heard the second shot go off, and like I said, these were split seconds. So like, I said that's a gun. It's a firearm. So I got up. I yelled, everyone to get down. Everybody was getting down. Everybody was yelling, get down. I told people to get down. And then as I'm just pointing people and telling people, like, you know, get down.
Get down! Get down! Get to the chopper!
And people were listening.
Grab my hand!
Then I seen they had yelled for the medic, and there was an individual.
How lucky were they that there was an American flag right above Trump's head when the press was there taking photos? Just such a perfect shot. Oh my God!
To try to get them, you know, to get help.
Was this the individual that we believe was deceased?
Yes. I jumped over the barrier that was there. I ran up into the bleachers, and there was a towel that the people had, and I took the towel and I pushed it against the deceased head, and
it's terrible.
Just to try to, it's all I could think about doing was trying to, you know, help him, but my efforts were in vain.
Yeah, Rico, you went to what was supposed to be a rally. It's supposed to be a fun
So
thing
fucked
for,
up.
You know, the party and candidate faithful, and it turns to this. These things
it gets
sometimes take a
worse-
long time to sink in. To know how
Hopefully,
close
this
you
is the
were
peak of the
to
political
danger,
violence.
But, have you seen any of the video? Or,
Hopefully, this
and
causes a de-escalation and lets people rethink.
Hopefully so. It is very concerning.
My thoughts are for the family. My thoughts are for the ones that were lost tonight in an act that was senseless and cowardice, all because of a feeling that one would have against an individual. No one had to lose their lives. You have the freedom of speech. You have the freedom to assemble. You have the freedom. You can go protest the fact that President Trump was there. Okay, that's fine. But to try to kill, to shoot into a crowd of thousands of people, I can't fathom that.
Yeah.
But my heart goes out to the families. It's unreal.
When did you realize the former president had been shot?
I didn't.
See,
Secret Service protects the president.
so they surrounded him as they're supposed to do.
They they did their job. My job was to get to the victims and to the people. I mean, that's what I felt my job was to do. You know.
Are you attending the Republican National Convention this week?
It's like the sheriffs.
No.
No. Okay. All right. Well, Rico, thank you so much for.
Unless
yeah, go ahead.
Unless you know, they call me up and say we want you to attend and we'll fly you out here, I'm not attending.
Okay. Understood. Listen, thank you for talking to us. I'm sorry you had to witness what you did. It's awful to hear, and thank you for taking the time.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. Garrett Hake covers former President Trump, and Garrett, Donald Trump has posted tonight on Truth Social. He filled in a lot of the blanks for us. Give us a sense of what he wrote.
That's right, Lester. While Donald Trump's campaign has been all but silent tonight, the candidate himself has been speaking out on Truth Social, in which he describes the incident from his perspective, talking about being up on stage and saying that he was shot with a bullet that pierced the upper part of his right ear. He says, "I knew immediately that something was wrong and that I heard a whizzing sound, shots, and immediately felt the bullet ripping through the skin. Much bleeding took place," he said, "so I realized then what had happened." Lester, the former president also thanks law enforcement and offers his condolences to the person who was killed at the rally and another, he says, who was badly injured. I think we now know that there were 2 people who were badly injured. He also talks about the idea that he says it's incredible that an act like this can take place in our country, and says that even he knew nothing about the shooter at the time. That has been the only communication we have gotten from Donald Trump directly.
So even Trump, he's only making, because sometimes he'll make several posts, you know, when something like this is not like this, but when there's something involving him going on, like a court case, he'll be posting all day.
I mean, hopefully he knows better, and that this is probably the moment where he's going to get the most public support.
Yeah, well, he's also been keeping quiet while the heat's been on Biden recently. This takes...
Yeah.
Oh, shit. There was a dono, but I didn't...
Yeah, we got a couple of donos here. Seth looks as it was a lone wolf mental illness. Thoughts and prayers. Isn't the time to politicize
all the other excuses and platitudes they use when it's his right winger on the trigger.
Yeah. When it's a right winger, Seth looks basically made that same post 7 minutes ago, but it didn't read. And thank you, Seth looks. And then Daniel Ayers says, I can't deny it. Surviving this assassination means that Trump now one-ups Biden's story of standing up to Corn Pop. Corn Pop ran with a bad crowd. Yeah, Trump literally stood up to Pop.
Is set to take place on Monday, so we will have to know that name at some point. How that announcement goes forward, in what capacity it goes forward, are one of the thousands of political questions that are going to come out of this moment, something unlike which we have ever seen before in American politics. I can tell you that one of Donald Trump's most
Filthy
senior
in the chat says Jeff Holiday recently mentioned getting armed and buying more ammo. It's all gone too far, bros. Jeff didn't do this, Filthy.
No, but they're saying like weird like Civil War type shit, right?
Oh, maybe, yeah.
I don't know. That's what I got from it, but I could be wrong.
The campaign manager writes, for years, even today,
Tim Pool's been talking about it forever.
Tim
Pool is in Pennsylvania, isn't he? Or
is he?
East Coast, at least.
I don't know where. I don't know anything about it.
It's high time they be held accountable for it. The best way is through the ballot box. So at least the campaign manager, and Lester, I suspect soon the greater campaign apparatus and Republican Party, I think was going to take this moment.
But I digress, Tubes. Please like the stream.
Using collectively about this campaign, the stakes of it on its head, and try to use it as a way to say
Trump was already doing pretty well in the polls, so like he was probably going to win anyway. But yes, this does help him. So unless something changes between now and when people vote, this is going to be.
Does the former president typically go home, or
I can only see his support going up. His base is going to thrive off of this. And the conspiracy theorists that believe the deep state is trying to take him out, they're really going to have this in their back pocket.
To his golf club in Bedminster, New Jersey, or to Trump Tower in New York City, or to a Trump property either in a place like Trump hotel property either in a place like Chicago or Las Vegas.
But also, if the deep state was going to take Trump out, they wouldn't have missed.
Trump properties on the East Coast tonight, most likely Bedminster, his golf club in New Jersey. From there, he would travel to Milwaukee.
Nah, Trump's basically a ninja.
Whether that plan changes tonight, I think, is an open question. Obviously, Mar-a-Lago, all these properties.
He heard the whizzing
are
sound and knew,
from the NYPD tonight that
you
they're
know,
sending extra
how to
resources
move.
to Trump Tower. All of these were properties that were secured by the Secret Service when
I'm the
Donald
best
Trump
at
was
surviving
president.
assassination attempts.
I can't speak to which ones are more secure than others, but I can say that obviously Mar-a-Lago is a private club, but it's a functioning, members-only club. So Donald Trump lives in a separate portion of that when he is there. At Bedminster, typically much fewer staff, much smaller footprint, less folks around. I would be speculating, but I can imagine
this is like they're going to keep showing this footage over and over and over and over and over again. It'll probably still be going on this time tomorrow. It was kind of like when the 9/11s happened. They showed that footage over and over and over and over and over again. It's not as catastrophic as that event, but it is like a 24-hour news event that they're going to be covering for days.
Do you think Trump will do an epic movie monologue about this? Where there's like gunshots in the background, choppers flying, sirens going, and you get like a Marlon Brando in Apocalypse Now kind of cinematic look of him in a room. He's like, the ops are trying to get me. They've taken shots and they've missed.
Yeah, there's something going on here. He knew to get the photo op,
Joe Biden can't make it through a sentence, let alone an assassination.
Oh my God.
He has been briefed by the head of the Secret Service,
his Secretary of Homeland Security and also other officials, including his Homeland Security advisor within the White House, who would be steeped in the knowledge of any potential threats.
I saw some extreme tweets that were like Biden set it up.
Across the political spectrum throughout
And it's like, hey, he has immunity, right?
acts of political violence.
Yeah, that's funny if Biden was like, yeah, I was gonna run for president, but I took my shot at Trump and I missed, so might as well duck out now.
We certainly had plenty of events coming up in the
He's
days
too
ahead.
shaky
So that will
at
be,
his age.
Kind of a piece-by-piece moment
God.
to assess the status of the investigation.
That one guy flipping off the camera is hilarious to me.
Coming back to Washington, he could speak directly with some of the officials who are based here.
Cheech Wizard says this won't change anyone's mind about who to vote for, though. I'm telling you, people who are in the middle,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of people in the middle.
What about people who
This
weren't
makes-
going to vote, too?
Yeah, this makes Trump look like when it's a battle of two old men. This makes Trump look like the rejuvenated one. Makes him look like the one with the most life in him.
They tried to take him out, and he survived. He's a survivor. Like, this could be spun in such a positive way towards him.
He didn't just survive. He literally posed for a photo afterwards. He literally posed for a fucking photo. Spec says the martyr effect. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, he's a martyr that survived. Like, he didn't get killed. So that's, yeah, it's...
Milwaukee for the convention.
In my album, the song God Complex, I talk about Tangerine Palpatine blows that to smithereens, go farther as a martyr. Like it's like
depending on the choice made by the former
It's
president
true.
about who he will
It's
run
always
with
true.
on the ticket. And so preparing for that person's immediate family to be protected by Secret Service, adding another protectee.
Martyr
in the,
effect always
the
works.
sphere of what the Secret Service does. So these are some of the moving parts that are happening. Big
blood.
questions, of course, about how does
Crazy.
the political calendar change because of that? What's happening with the investigative pieces, learning many more details about who has been harmed today, the innocent victims who have been caught up in this, as well as a real medical status on the former president, and any information that we can gain through our reporting and with our law enforcement reporting colleagues about the suspected attempted assassin here, the gunman responsible. All of that unfolding on a Saturday
Attempted
night
assassin. So that means that they're acknowledging that it's an assassination.
The news are calling it, yeah.
Yeah.
Easy access to convene meetings with his officials, and we'll stay on it as there are additional developments. Of course, the Secret Service provided some details that you've discussed at length tonight, having covered many Trump rallies when he was president and when he was a candidate in the last cycle. These are such well-attended events, huge crowds often, and covering events for the current president, President Biden, where he is out on the campaign trail. The security always includes a lot of screening, and that's why it was so notable that we were able to report that this gunman taken out and neutralized in the term of law enforcement by the Secret Service was outside that perimeter. Many questions still to be explored and investigation to be done. But President Biden will be returning here tonight, and we hope to have an update on whether he has reached
I think the
former
gunman was
president by
inspired by one of
Lester?
King
All right, Kelly,
Cobra's
thanks. We're gonna try to
songs
shed a
on
little
one of
more
his
light on what you're
albums.
talking about there. We're going to show you some new video. Our
Cobra's
team
gonna
has
cry.
obtained. We want to warn you, it's disturbing. If you look at the blurred part of your screen, that
Oh, okay,
appears
yeah, they have the
to
dead
show the
gunman that they
suspect's body
blurred.
at the scene of the shooting. NBC News confirmed from multiple law enforcement officials the suspect was male. We also
Are we
learned the
sure that was a
suspect is
blur?
dead. We have not confirmed his identity yet, but this, as you can see, is an elevated position,
Okay.
which would be consistent
On top of a
with
building.
what officials have been reporting, that this shooter was operating from a superior, a higher ground, if you will, or in this case, perhaps a building of some sort. All this will, the investigation, frankly, is moving at a pretty good clip here. We are getting more information by the hour here, so we'll continue to do that. I want to bring back retired ATF Special Agent Jim Kavanaugh. Jim, what do you make of that video?
Well, it's really surprising, Lester. I mean, one of the things that shocked me first in this event is when
now they're showing the blur of the. It's like, why even show it?
We haven't seen long rifle attack on politicians really since the 60s. The last one I remember was Dr. King in '68, and of course John F. Kennedy. But they were rifle shots. But every other attack on Reagan, the 2 attacks on President Ford, the attack on George Wallace when he was candidate, they were all handguns. And the reason is that since the '63 assassination of John Kennedy, the Secret Service has always held the high ground. I was never on a Secret Service detail, and I was on a number.
So someone dropped
an
the ball
ATF
choosing this location, apparently.
where they didn't have command of all the high ground. So I'm really shocked. I'm surprised that at the top of a building or shed or barn or whatever that is, a couple hundred yards away is not already have been commanded by the Secret Service and the police working with them. It's very surprising to me. My question that I want to find out is, what was the garb of the killer, or what was he wearing? He killed a man at the rally, and he tried to kill President Trump. What was he wearing? Was he wearing a tactical outfit that maybe some of the law enforcement members mistook that he was supposed to be there, that he looked
Jim,
like an agent?
When we played the tape,
he wore a costume.
Noticed, so you hear kind of a rapid gunfire. It sounds in the background, and then there's a pause, and then we hear another shot, and people scream. I presume that other shot is when they took down the shooter. I'm making a presumption here. But it, too, sounded in the background. Did you pick up on that as well?
Yes, I think you're right. It's the distance. It's the distance from the microphones. You know, the CAT team, you'll see that the 2 agents that are walking around on the dais there in the tactical garb, they're part of the Secret Service CAT team, C-A-T, Counterattack on Terrorist team. And they'll have long rifles, and they'll have members.
So they are part of
teams
Secret
on top
Service.
of buildings. I think you showed pictures of them earlier just on some feed. And they'll have a scope, a bipod.
I remember
binoculars,
I lived in this small town called Bowling Green in Ohio, and they had like a Main Street downtown area that, you know, was very small town looking, and John Kerry was running for president, and he did a speech like out, they like blocked off the street and built like a stage for him, and they had like snipers on top of all the buildings and everything. Like the diner that I would go to.
Guy as his VP.
They'll use it.
That would be ridiculous.
A major city SWAT team, local SWAT team, to get up there and do that. So
I'm Mike. What is it, Mike Lindell?
A building
is that his name?
Could get on.
I think so. Yeah.
Within rifle range of a protectee.
Yeah. That's one of the many areas that will certainly come to light, I guess, in the coming hours here. I want to go back to our senior White House correspondent, Kelly O'Donnell. Kelly, we've been talking about President Biden's statement earlier. You've got an update on that.
In just the few moments that we have not been talking, Lester, we've now been advised that President Biden did reach former President Trump by phone. They have now had a conversation. President Biden earlier in the evening had said he had attempted to reach him, likely during the time that the former president was undergoing whatever medical evaluation may be taking place. We now know from the White House they have spoken. And he has also spoken with the governor of Pennsylvania and an official from Butler County, which is the location where this
Biden
incident took place.
needs
So the
Pennsylvania
president working the phones to make contact with his
and
predecessor, who
Michigan
is also
to
his
win.
current rival,
If he doesn't
and
win
to make that
both
human
of
connection
those,
while also
he can't
reaching out
win,
to
like,
the local and
pretty
state
much.
officials who are directly affected by this.
Yeah, do you think Pennsylvania comes out for Trump now?
President Biden will be departing
Maybe.
from his home in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, to begin making the trip back here to Washington. He had said he wanted to make that connection. He has now done so, and tomorrow we are told that he will also have, once back here at the White House, an updated briefing on all of the investigative pieces that between now and tomorrow, perhaps there'll be some of those blanks filled in, as the president will want to talk to his top officials who are working to try to identify more details about
So,
what happened, who was
Biden
involved,
did talk to Trump.
what motivations or warnings,
People are
if any, might
speculating
have
how
been
that
detected in
conversation
advance,
went.
and what the next steps will be. So the president on the move tonight, the former president, and he's speaking, and more briefings to come. That's the latest we have from here, Lester.
All right, Kelly, thanks very much. David McCormick is the Republican nominee for a Senate seat in Pennsylvania.
Lease on Life says it's so stupid this could cause people to vote with their emotions and not their head. Most people don't have enough head to vote with anyways. Emotions are the best they got.
Maybe I was right to the right of President Trump in the first row there, and he came out and announced me and said, "Hey, why don't you come up on the stage?" And I started to get up and go on the stage, and then he said, "No, I'll have you come up later." And then within a minute or two, the shooting started, and there were 6 or 7 shots, and it was pretty clear right away it was a gun, and people dropped, and obviously the president went down, and the Secret Service was on top of him, and then he eventually stood up, and the Secret Service sort of had a phalanx around him, and you saw that. You could see blood on him, and you saw the fists come out in both defiance and I think reassurance and strength. And at about the same time, I recognized that somebody behind me had been wounded in the bleachers behind me, and sadly, it looked like pretty severely wounded. And the people in the bleachers next to him were trying to stop the bleeding, but there was blood everywhere. And I'm not sure if that was the person who was in intensive care or the person who died, but. It was clear that even though President Trump had, I guess, been nicked, that others were very, very seriously wounded. So
it's not lost on you.
It was a very frightening moment.
Not lost on you that had you accepted that invitation to go on stage, you too might have been on the line of fire. They just keep
showing this on repeat.
No, it absolutely was, and it was obvious that there was an assassination attempt on the former president.
Yes.
And, a really scary moment. It was just like it was 15,000 people there, and this had only been my second Trump rally, but it was USA Today and lots of energy and lots of positive noise, and then all of a sudden just shattered with these rifle shots, and it was just sort of people were in disbelief. It was very chaotic and very confusing. For quite some time.
Kind of tired of this shit.
Kind of like our microphones were able to pick up a lot of it, but I'm curious from someone on the ground there as this is all happening. You heard the shots.
There's middle finger guy again.
Did
he's hilarious.
The former president say anything at all?
Not that I heard. It was all moving in such a fast pace, and there was a young boy next to me, and his grandfather was a local sheriff, so the sheriff ran off to sort of deal with what was going on, and he was very frightened. So, people were processing it. I didn't hear anything the president said. What became clear is that somebody was really hurt, so people were calling for medics and getting emergency care in, and so it quickly went from the shooting to dealing with what had happened, but also with the uncertainty whether the shooting was done.
Yeah, I'm also skeptical whether or not there was 15,000 people there. Maybe a few thousand, not 15.
Because it felt like
that's quite this was not a stadium, right?
And so,
until I see videos of them doing the wave, I don't believe
I've been
it.
an Army guy earlier in my life, and it's very hard to know exactly what's going on. So you have to kind of go slow so you don't misunderstand the situation, and that's what I tried to do, was just to process and keep my head down and try to help deal with some of the challenges that resulted in some of the injuries that resulted.
Mr. McCormick, are you attending the RNC, the Republican National Convention, this coming week?
I am, yes.
And do you do that with some deal of trepidation after what you've experienced and what you saw?
Well, I'm still processing, what I saw, but, as a public, I'm hoping to be a public official here as a candidate.
Yeah, I wonder what's going to happen at the convention.
It's your safety. It's hard enough.
It's going to be a fucking Thug Life music video.
So and difficult, but then to think that your life may be at risk is something that I haven't.
If you haven't liked the stream already, give us a like. We should get over 200 likes easily, and subscribe to the channel.
The people that are in the public eye are saying
Trump's just going to be boasting about how he took a bullet.
It's a moment that I hope we all
he did. He can say that. He doesn't have to lie this time.
has no
I
place
took a
in
ball
our
that Joe
country.
Biden
It's
can't even
not
get
a
the
party
names right
thing.
of his closest constituents.
It's
Crooked
absolutely
Joe
un-American,
Biden.
and hopefully a night like tonight will give us all pause and help dial down the temperature a little bit.
Yeah, I think that probably is a bipartisan thought tonight. We've been hearing in reaction to all
Is
this. I
it?
think there is universal shock and disgust that this sort of thing would happen. Thank you, Mr. McCormick, for talking to us. We really appreciate it. Our investigative correspondent, Tom Winter, is back with us. Tom, you have some new details on how the shooting took place. What can you tell us?
That's right. You were showing a video a moment ago, and maybe we can take a couple of seconds about how it was and pull it up. But we'll stay on this video for now. You see Trump looking over to his right. In this video right here that we're looking at of this kind of tan building with the white roof, what's blurred out there is what is believed to be the body of the alleged shooter. To answer a question our colleague Jim Kavanaugh was asking before, it appears to me, looking at this video without the blur, that he is wearing some sort of a camouflage type pant. It's not clear to me whether they're wearing any sort of a tactical gear or not. In a separate video we're examining that we believe to be accurate, it appears that the Secret Service counter sniper team, so they're looking for people that might shoot at former President Trump or whoever they're protecting on that day, and they would be in a position to shoot at that person or at least spot them. It appears that they noticed this individual or at least are in the kind of looking in the general area, and it appears that they fire back in less than a second or so after the initial shot is fired. It's not clear, frankly, who fires first. So that's a little bit of detail.
He was taken out.
To our colleagues at NBCnews.com, and we're looking at the map now. They just put this together. It's you're looking at the location of where it appears the body was found and approximately where the stage is where the former president spoke today. And as they've done the math, there are approximately 148 yards between those two locations. So you can kind of get a sense of how all this went down, and grateful to our colleagues for bringing this up so quickly. So that's what we know as far as the location of this and the geography. As we get a better sense of what's going on. Separately, we understand now, and just got word from the FBI that Christopher Wray, who is the FBI director, has conducted a briefing right now of the National Security Council of the United States. He's briefed President Biden and National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan as well. So again, FBI Director Christopher Wray, now that the FBI has taken over this investigation, they're the lead agency, has briefed the president, National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan, and the NSC on the status of the investigation as best as the FBI knows it at this point. So all of this is happening as we've been speaking here and looking at these videos and examining what has happened, but obviously a clear picture. We are told by the Secret Service that that rooftop, approximately 148 yards away, was outside of their security perimeter. So anybody going to this event, the people you see in the rally,
they should have set a wider perimeter.
In the background, sitting behind Trump, that
they should have had
guys
on the roof
and gone
there.
through magnetometers and make sure that there was nothing on their person, certainly no weapons on their person. That would have occurred. This shooting appears to have been outside of that location, and the question is going to be now is, did that individual have line of sight? Should the perimeter
looks like they did. I mean, it's a pretty close shot.
What exactly happened leading up to this? So obviously continued questions. There are calls for Congress for briefings from the Secret Service. That'll take place in the coming days. The questions are being asked.
It's so crazy that Trump's head was
turned. Where all this goes as far as the security plan.
It hit the other side of his head that was turned away from
Trump
viewing.
has to make his vice president pick, or is expected to in the coming couple of days. That only ramps up how busy the Secret Service is, because that individual needs to get protection as well. And once Trump is the nominee, he would normally get the full protection on top of what he gets as a former president. Well, obviously now we can assume that from here on out, Trump will have protection in his rallies, and the way that they're secured will.
I went to see Bernie in an arena while he was running for president, and the TSA was doing the security there. Like, you had to walk through. It was like you were at the airport, but it was just to get into an arena.
Brent Hook, they were at this evening's rally and
I sat behind him.
Melanie or Brent, can you tell us what you saw and heard?
Yeah, we were sitting there, and all of a sudden we just heard, of course, what sounded like gunshots, and just total chaos then happened. I kind of looked to my right, and I saw the individual who got shot in the bleachers. I saw his hat come off. And then we just started grabbing everybody around us and just got down in the bleachers and just kind of hovered over everybody, trying to protect everybody around us. And it was right beside us, beside us.
Yeah, there was as we see in the video, there was a lot going on. The tactical teams were moving, the team moving around the former president. At that point, did you know what to do, how to protect yourself?
You know what I found the other day, by the way? I found, you remember that?
Wait. Yes and no. We just,
G-Man, the G-Man soundboard.
And the rest of our
G-Man
family kind
porn.
of gathered all around everybody else. And yeah, you don't ever plan for anything like that. So you just kind of have to just go with what you feel at the moment, I guess. I don't know. It was definitely terrifying.
So you were in the bleachers, really behind where the former president was?
We were off to his, like if he was facing forward, we were off to the right. We were in the same set of bleachers where the guy was shot at.
Oh my goodness.
We were just a few feet from him.
Is this somebody you had met or encountered?
I think we had talked to him in line coming in, but we didn't know who he was personally, no.
We know this is, we don't have to get deep into it. We know this is a tough campaign right now. But did you ever imagine you would face this sort of thing at a rally?
Absolutely not. No.
I wonder if rally attendance will go down because of this, or if they'll just stop having them altogether. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it'll go down. I think more people will come out to support.
The conventions are rally. I mean, it's basically a multi-day rally.
Everything. We just we're just not. I mean, my husband especially, he can kind of say his little point, but we just don't know how this
If
happens.
rallies are like concerts, conventions are like
there was
festivals.
So much presence there, police presence and snipers, and I don't know how that guy possibly was able to do this.
Yeah, your husband, Brent.
Yeah. Yes, he's here.
Yeah, Brent, I mean, you did go through magnetometers, the metal detectors and all that.
Magnetometers, I love that word.
Arena?
Oh yeah. I felt safe going into it. You go through it and they double and triple check people. From what I saw, but like I heard earlier that
what I saw, I reckon
they double and triple check people.
Somebody told me 140 some yards or something like that. I think it was a lot more than that.
Yeah,
I'm thinking a good.
So you're familiar? You had seen the building that the shooting may have taken place.
Yeah, the sniper. Yeah, I seen both sets of snipers up on the two buildings right behind where Trump would have been, and I watched them guys look over at that building quite a bit. They looked over there with the binoculars quite a bit.
Binoculars.
Binoculars.
I like this guy.
Well, look, I'm glad you folks are well. I'm sorry you had to see what you saw, but thank you for sharing your story and your account with us tonight. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, NBC's Jesse Kirsch is outside the former president's home in Mar-a-Lago in Florida. Jesse, you have Trump supporters showing up near his home throughout the evening, expressing their support.
People are claiming the shooter was Richard Simmons. This was his last act. I don't think that's true.
Show you just on the other side of my camera lens, you can see there's some people gathering. We've had people with Trump flags, Trump campaign flags, American flags, people driving by honking horns. For hours now, there have been people out here expressing their support for the former president. I do want to show you the presence behind us here at Mar-a-Lago, the former president's home. I'm going to step off to the side. Our photographer's going to push in. You can see red and blue.
This guy in the pink shirt is definitely on cocaine.
On the property, our team has seen what appears to be at least 2 police vehicles stationed on that property tonight. But what I can tell you is from our producer, Juliet, who has been driving around the area, has been in the area before, there does not appear at this point to be any obvious, demonstrable up-ramp of the physical, visible security presence here. Of course, that's only speaking to what we can visibly see out here right now, so that's not saying anything about what might be going on inside the fence line of the property at this point. But from our perspective out here, there does not appear to be an obvious ramp up of the physical security presence. We should note this is not just the home of the former president. This is where his youngest child, Barron Trump lives, as well as his wife, Melania Trump. We know that the former First Lady was, before all this unfolded, expected to be at the RNC in Milwaukee this week. We do not at this point have any guidance on their whereabouts, either the former First Lady or Barron Trump at this point. So we don't know if they are at this property. I can tell you that since we've been here and our team has been out here for hours at this point, we have not seen any kind of up-ramp, again, of a security.
By the way, we also did a pre-show before this show, and it's available now, so you can, I'll put the link right there. There's other ways of getting it, too. You can get it on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or whatever. It's some extra content. Go check it out. We talked about this. We talked about the Lincoln assassination and the execution of the conspirators to kill Abraham Lincoln.
And other current events.
Yeah. Check it out. It's extra content. It's free.
Who likes the spotlight of campaigning more than any other politician I've ever covered, has almost entirely stayed out of it. All of the headlines over the last 2 weeks have been about Joe Biden and would he remain as the Democratic nominee. We were starting to talk about Donald Trump again in the context of this rally today and the opening of his convention on Monday, because he was going to have to name his vice presidential nominee, something that would pull that spotlight back to him, and then have the chance to introduce himself again to the country at a convention. One of the very few events that a candidate can ever fully control on their own during the heat of a presidential election. Instead, we find ourselves tonight, Saturday night, probably bleeding well into Sunday morning, in the exact opposite situation, an assassination attempt, something no candidate could ever possibly control, that's liable to completely upend.
And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart's a couple of months old.
And the former president
There's a video
have spoken tonight in the aftermath of this.
that we might
and we
want
know
to check
that the
out.
RNC, according to the organizers and the former president statement that appears in his name, seems to indicate at least, will go forward on Monday in some capacity. But what the speeches will be about, what the kind of contours of this campaign will be, how voters will react to seeing a nominee for a major party escorted off stage by Secret Service, covered in his own blood. I mean, this is just not something that modern voters have had to grapple with.
No.
When I'm talking to people tonight, not just my sources, but sort of the normal people in my life consuming this all, there is so much shock and
Yeah, it is shocking. It is definitely shocking.
50 Cent for vice president would be great.
Here's so it looks like, okay, so it says this sniper noticed the shooter too late, I think is what this is. So this is because they do put snipers on the roof around these sort of events.
And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Well, see him? Right there.
What the fuck?
Crazy.
Damn.
Is this Andrew Tate talking about this?
I was going viral on the fucking internet, telling all of you. I said they try and cancel you. If cancellation fails, they try and put you in jail. And if that fails, they fucking kill you. I was saying this last year. I was saying it after I rejected their fucking money. I rejected their money to sell my soul, and I started saying on every podcast, they're gonna hit me with a bullshit case. They're gonna try and put me in jail. And when I got out of jail, I said on every podcast, I'm uncomfortable because I know I'm on my last fucking life. Look what they've done to Trump. Look at it. They canceled him, they deleted him from everything. Nobody cared, it didn't work. They tried to put him in jail, that's failed. Now they killed him. You get 3 lives against these people. The second you've been canceled, next is a fucking case. And if you beat that case, they're gonna put a bullet in you. It happens every fucking time. I don't care what side of the
he didn't beat the case. He didn't beat the case. He is a felon. He's been guilty multiple times.
He hasn't been sentenced yet.
Yeah, but he didn't beat the case.
Initially,
and he beat the murder. He beat the assassination. Like, this is a terrible point for Andrew Tate to be making.
Yeah. Not a smart one.
And I also want to say the idea that Trump has ever been silenced, anytime he's lost footing on a platform, he's only been amplified. Like, that's so stupid. Trump has been silenced. No, he hasn't been silenced. He is literally going to likely win the presidential race.
It's true.
2000 convention happening at the heart of the pandemic. There was no crowd. There were no massive delegations here. And so for this event here, it is going to be moving on its forward. I talked to 2 different delegates just a short time ago, one telling me that they believe this only increases the energy level here and the intensity and the commitment to support the likes of Donald Trump, the former president and presumptive Republican nominee, who's expected on Monday to be formally nominated inside of this arena with the several thousand delegates.
This is why you should have used the knife.
So let's go to national security analyst Frank Figluzzi. And Frank, the FBI has taken over the investigation. What does that mean in a practical sense?
Yeah, Lester, this is actually mandated by regulation. It's been written long ago, and the history of it is fascinating because it anticipates the unlikely event that maybe the Secret Service would cover up an incident or even be involved in it, God forbid. So we expected the FBI to come in and take this over. What it means is the full panoply of the FBI will be involved, from high-tech crime scene analysis, but more immediately, Lester, all of the social media and computer devices of this shooter, all the interviews of his coworkers, family, neighbors, all of that, his entire life history will be reconstructed rather rapidly. And the goal here will be to see, number one, was anyone else involved? Is this part of a larger conspiracy? Was there anything that could have been done to head this off or intervene? They'll be looking at his weapon, where it came from. Was it purchased legally or not? Was he trained as a sniper ever in any profession that he may have held? And of course, what was his motive? And I
148 yards. I would hope he was trained as a sniper to get that close.
Know where this shooter really was coming from mentally, and that's where the FBI
I learned it on YouTube,
One of the
bro.
early things they need to rule out is terrorism. They need to rule out that this wasn't a part of an international terrorism plot. So lots of things on the FBI.
Yeah, did he act alone or did he have marching orders?
This is
Which one of the
Garland
Putins
has
was
brought his
behind
team
this?
together. Is this truly a
Was it
national
actual Putin or
security
Biden's
issue?
Putin?
It clearly is. I mean, the world is.
Oh, you
watching
mean
here. They know
Zelensky?
We're all divided and polarized,
Yeah.
and that we do tend to lean toward violence as a possible solution. This only makes things worse, not only internationally but domestically. You've reported the RNC is starting on Monday. This is our iconic democratic process. The parties hold conventions. They pick their nominees. The question, can we do that securely and safely? And you will see changes come Monday in the planning around the RNC. So, for example, in the state of Wisconsin, you're not supposed to preclude anyone from carrying a weapon, even in a soft security zone, which is in place for the free speech and designated protest areas of the convention. I think those are going to get moved. There's also a parade route around the building for people who want to exercise free speech and assembly. That may be rethought. We're going to have to do things differently moving forward.
They're going to start
of course,
completely
the
locking
investigation of
down
what went wrong
blocks
here.
and
Why,
blocks.
if as reported is true, why was this building the shooter was on outside the perimeter when it clearly was within a sniper's range? We've got to figure that out too.
Are you fearful, or does law enforcement look at the possibility that something like this could inspire others who may have harbored similar thoughts?
Oh, absolutely. The copycat thing here, look, sadly, we've seen it over the last couple of years, haven't we, with people kind of taking on FBI buildings. And
Man,
it doesn't
that
end well
bullet
for them,
boogie
like
fired that
Cincinnati,
one
Ohio,
time had
or a
some
man
crazy
who
hang time.
tried to,
We
sell
got
a
super
weapon at
unlucky
agents
with
in
this
Provo,
one.
Utah, who were arresting
Yeah, I
him.
can't wait for Mudahar and Voice Critical to get him on for this shit now.
With presumably people who are anti-Trump. Can you imagine people who think in their head the answer is to seek revenge for today's event, maybe against those who are protesting against Trump? This presents quite the challenge for next week.
And as this investigation unfolds, you reminded us not to glom on to what we think may be a motive in this case. But if there are connections, outlets, for example, for outside the United States, that would turn this into a much different animal.
It sure would. And look, the FBI Director Chris Wray, for example, has been telling Congress repeatedly now that there is strong indication of a potential for an international terror attack here. He used the language that it could look like the concert hall attack in Moscow recently by ISIS-K. Recently, the FBI arrested 8 men who migrated over the southern border from Tajikistan who are affiliated with ISIS-K.
I don't even know where that is.
That is an ongoing concern, and the FBI is going to work quickly to try and put that angle to rest.
And
Central
digital trail,
Asia,
we've seen that
near Kyrgyzstan
emerge in similar things before. Will that be the tell-all
Out
essentially?
near the other stans.
Yeah.
Today, people just vent all of their motives and frustrations online, and my guess is this will be the case here. We'll know pretty quickly, even through family interviews as well as social media, where this individual was coming from in terms of mindset.
All right, we continue to get video from the aftermath. You see people
That
who
was a
were wounded,
soundbite
perhaps,
from
or
G-Man's
somehow
gay porn
otherwise
days.
injured there, being treated in the confusion, the aftermath of all this. There's still photos, including ones like this, that have certainly gone viral among many of Donald Trump's supporters after he has survived what is an apparent assassination attempt in Pennsylvania today at a rally. This is the shot, the iconic shot now of this
seen Trump
former
get shot
president
so
being
much.
whisked away to the safety of his vehicle.
I'm going to say
we're coming up at the
it's
top
time
of the
for
hour.
another
We're gonna take a very
shooting.
brief pause for
I'm
some
getting
of our
tired of this
stations to
footage
start their
news.
local coverage. For others, Hallie Jackson will pick up the coverage in just a moment.
Maybe you should orchestrate a shooting of yourself to help your career take off. You know, like,
Yeah, I don't know.
For our viewers just joining us, we are on the
I'm
air
all
with
right with
breaking
that.
news on this
I already have
amazing
enough health
news.
problems.
Look how it's working,
A
though.
shooting at Donald Trump's Pennsylvania campaign rally. The former president has been hurt in an apparent assassination attempt. The Secret Service says the president
You're gonna
is
be a
safe
star, kid.
and that the shooter
A
is dead.
star.
Tonight, Donald Trump is posting
I think
on
I'd be
Truth
better
Social,
off
his platform
releasing
online, that he was
gay
hit
OnlyFans
with a bullet
videos.
that he says pierced the upper part of his right ear. He said he felt it ripping through his skin. We have a lot to get to, but I want to pause
It was
here. We're going to
pierced.
roll the video of what happened just after 6 p.m. here on the East Coast while Mr. Trump was speaking. I want you to listen closely also to the sound of the shots. and what you
Okay,
hear
so
in the
they're gonna
moments
show this
right
again.
after that,
We've watched it
until
like
Mr.
100
Trump is
times.
rushed into his
Yeah.
motorcade. Watch.
A little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
that picture where you can see the bullet. It's going so fast. It's like a long line.
Yeah.
In the picture.
So
Move to spare. Hold. When you're ready. On you. Ready. Move. Up. Move. Go. Up. Hawkeye's here. Hawkeye's here. Move to the spare. Spare, get ready. Spare, get ready. We ready? Down. Shooter's down. Are we good? Shooter's down. Are we good to move? We're good to move. We're clear. Let's move.
shooter's down.
Shooter is down.
He's down.
Get down.
Come on. Let me get my shoes. I got you, sir. Let me get my shoes, sir. Hold on, your head is bloody.
Let me get my shoes. I always take them off at the podium. I want to be comfy when I'm speaking.
He was. It knocked him out of his shoes. The bullet hitting him. And he's like, yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. What has this world come to? This is just like, it is crazy to watch every time. I've seen it like 100 times. And every time
I'm hella let down by the people in the crowd. They all should have pulled their tits out for the president at that moment. Tits out for Trump. USA, USA, USA. You still got it. You still
a holy
got
shit
it.
chant would have been good.
Shit.
He showed color.
You see that fist in the air from
Fuck
former
'em up,
President Trump as
Boldy.
he's taken
Fuck
into
'em
his
up.
motorcade and then taken away. This is a map, the approximate area of the stage where Mr. Trump was shot and the location of the suspected gunman's body. Here's what we know right now, that suspected shooter fired a weapon from a roof outside the perimeter of the rally. So he was outside the Secret Service security area. The alleged gunman is dead. Also, a spectator who was attending the rally has been killed. 2 other spectators were badly hurt. President Biden has spoken with Mr. Trump. He is returning right now to the White House from Delaware, where earlier this evening, the president addressed the nation.
Oh, God.
But the bottom line is that the Trump rally was a rally that he should have been able to be conducted peacefully without any problem. But the idea that there's political violence or violence in America like this is just unheard of. It's just not appropriate. And
It's not appropriate,
must
guys.
condemn it.
Shooting presidents is not appropriate.
Former President Trump has put out a statement extending his condolences to the loved ones of the rally-goer who was killed and to the others who were hurt. He also thanked law enforcement and first responders for their quick action and says he looks forward to the Republican convention in Milwaukee that is set to begin on Monday. I want to bring in now NBC's Dasha Burns, who was at that rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. She was there when the
She's
shots
there
were fired.
still,
Dasha,
and
bring
it's
us up to
like
speed as to
super
where
dark
things
now.
stand
Earlier when we were
what know
watching, it
about
was
the whereabouts
daytime.
of the former president and what happens from here.
She found
Ali,
a tailgate
as
to party
reporters
with.
in this day and age, you and I both know we cover shootings. It is a modern day reality. It is very rare, though, and certainly has never happened to me, that we, instead of going
The
to the
camera's
scene
out of focus.
in the aftermath, we are actually there on site and witnessing all of this. We were there, our team, in the moments when the shots rang out. I can walk you through just briefly to give you a sense of what it was like in the crowd there. There was a transition of emotions from chaos and fear and confusion to you will see and hear in that video that you've been playing, once the former president puts his fist up into the air, then cheers, and trying to figure out what exactly happened. We are now in the parking lot outside of the venue. We've been here for hours. Earlier,
That's great. She gets to hang out in the parking lot,
traffic jam,
and then they roll
thousands and thousands of
footage.
cars were in this parking
She
lot.
was doing
Thousands of
beer
people at this
bongs.
rally coming to what they thought was going
Keg
to
stand.
be a typical Trump
Hell
rally,
yeah.
a typical political rally.
Playing
That's, of
beer
course,
pong
not what they
and,
experienced. We've been talking to
cornhole.
witnesses here, sharing our own
Cooking some-
experience
some
with them
ribs,
and hearing from them as well. I
maybe.
want you to take a listen
Cornhole.
to some of the conversations that I've had. Joe and Donna, a mother-son, who say that they were.
I'm
right
trying
there.
to
They
see
were
how
in
many
the
people
area
could fit in a.
where this
how
happened. Donna, let me
much
start with
space
you.
15,000
First of all, are you okay?
people
Yes,
takes
I'm
up?
shook. I'm definitely shook up, but I'm okay. Yeah, and we were.
I'm not finding it online with my simple questions.
Pop, pop, pop. I thought it was like a cap gun. And my son's like, gun, get down. And next thing you know, everybody around us was down. And then once we got down, we was up at the top of our bleacher. The men were yelling to all the snipers and all the cops to come over because he had shot a man and a woman in our bleacher. We heard the one is very fatal. We don't know that for sure, but they were down. They went out on grenades.
So Joe, what exactly did you see? Because from our vantage point, we couldn't see what was going on. We didn't see any individuals. All we could do was listen for those sounds. But what did you see?
Again, I was watching the president, and you hear the gunshots go off.
I heard the
Remarks
gunshots
from
from the
up top
president.
said that the shooter actually climbed up the back of the bleacher.
Oh, he's got a cool
And
guitar
after we got
tattoo.
down, like my
Yeah,
mom
on the
said,
inside
there was
of
two
his
people down.
forearm.
They were
Hell
calling
yeah.
for medics. We did see the two people that were shot,
Interesting.
and we saw them get carried out. Like, I don't know. The one didn't look like they were okay. I hope the other one's okay.
This
and
guy
just
speaks like mint
may God
salad.
watch over them tonight.
Their mother, son, and
Dawn,
sister, brother.
You said two people. Were these two people fellow attendees of the rally? And what kind of did you see them get shot directly, or did you just see the aftermath?
No, you just heard the noise. You heard the pop, 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 seen the aftermath.
Pop, pop, pop.
And neither of them looked good. They were both down. Nobody was talking. Nobody was moving.
What was going through your mind as you were witnessing all of this?
Are they still here? And am I going to get shot? That's what's going through my mind. He's holding my hand, and we were going to get up and try to get out of here. And some gentleman there said, "No, you stay down." So we stayed down, and then we finally heard everybody evacuate, and he grabbed my hand, and we got out of there.
And Joe, what was your state of mind coming into this rally today? What were you expecting, and what are you feeling now as we all experienced a day that none of us thought would come?
Well, I was excited. I mean, this is just our second rally, and the first one, Trump is very energetic when he comes to these, and well, now I want to vote for him more than ever.
Why is that?
Now I want to vote for him more
Just
than
to
ever.
send a
Hell
message to
yeah.
these people. They can't stop us.
Gotta send a message to a
Don,
shooter.
how are you
that's
feeling?
dead.
You're here with your son. Of course, you want to protect your baby, and you don't want them or yourself to be in any danger. What were those mama instincts in that moment, and how are you feeling right now?
Exactly. My mama instincts were when he grabbed my hand, I knew my son was scared to death because he was holding my hand. He had held my hand since he was probably 5 or 6 years old. And so he held on to my hand, and you can imagine, my heart went into a million pieces.
The weirdest thing, when I was at a
all I kept
public
thinking was, we
shooting,
gotta
I
be safe
actually
and get out
held
of
my
here, and I
mom's
agree with Joe.
ass.
Vote for Trump because this country got to get back in line. This is out of control.
How did you get
Make
out
things
ultimately?
very
How did you get here
awkward.
to safety?
That once they evacuated us, because right where we were sitting, we were able to just keep on going. We actually watched the snipers and everybody over on the side for a few minutes, but we just got out of there. We were scared.
What did you see from your vantage point of the snipers? These were the people protecting the former president.
That's correct. And now they were over in the lawn. They were watching every single person with their guns going by. I believe the one injured person was over there that they had. Wasn't he on the one on the ground?
Yeah, so before they evacuated, they carried the 2 injured people out. Then they yelled for us to get evacuated. At that point, all the Secret Service were up in our section with the guns, and they were all in the field. Because like I said, rumor was he climbed up the back of our bleacher.
Hallie, I also
Rumor
spoke
was he
to
climbed
a
out the
gentleman
back of
who
our
was
bleacher.
right next to the person who was shot and killed at this rally. He was an OBGYN, a doctor who said he actually helped to carry that man out of the venue, describing that harrowing scene to us. So many people witnessed this tragedy today and are trying to wrap their minds around what happened. The sun has set here, but the reality is still dawning on all of us that were in
See how she did that?
rally, what we witnessed, and what this is going to mean for the future of this country, for the future of this campaign, for the future of this election. We know the former president has posted on Truth Social that he's okay. He's been injured in his right ear. He did send
just got to run
condolences
away to
the
Canada
family,
or something.
of the person who was
Canadians
injured
take
fatally.
us?
This is something that, of course,
No.
President Biden has
don't want us.
spoken about as well. The two of them have
They'll
spoken.
put up a real border.
And now we're just
Build a
48
wall.
hours from the Republican National Convention, a massive event, and an event where security was already a concern, and now it remains to be seen just what this means for the protection around the former president, certainly to be escalated after this, Hallie.
Dasha Burns live for us there. Dasha, thank you so much. I want to go to our investigative correspondent, Tom Winter, who's with us. And Tom, you've got some new details on how this shooting took place. What can you tell us?
I can, Hallie, but first I think we should get to some additional information that myself and my colleagues have been learning, and including our colleagues Jonathan Deans and Dan DeLuce. The individual who is believed to have tried to shoot former President Trump is somebody who is not a foreign national. There's no nexus here, we've been told, to any sort of foreign national or foreign country. Separately, it's possible this person could be from the general western part of Pennsylvania. And we're in the process of hunting that down now, and obviously we'll continue to report and get as much detail as possible. As far as the location of where this alleged shooter was, we just saw the video, and it's an incredible video of the former president being taken from the stage. And you can see here now on the map, you call it 148 yards, 150, 130, but generally put,
Oh,
these
130?
are two locations where these individuals were located.
I can
That's
see
a manufacturing
150
company
roughly, but
on the
150 to
left-hand side of your
130?
screen, and a roof that belongs to
I don't like
at least,
that.
according to a Google search. We haven't been able to reach that particular firm yet to confirm the details of that. And then you can see where the stage was set up today for the rally. Now, the
Don't they
Secret
have the
Service's
information on the
perimeter
shooter yet?
is,
That'd
of
be a
course,
fun
and
one
you
to
know
look
this very
into.
well, Hallie, from your time
Yeah,
on
I don't.
covering so many various campaigns. You can't bring in a weapon. You're going to be searched. There's magnetometers. There's people to
What
check
else? Do we keep watching this or do we do something else?
I don't think anything new is coming out of it. We watched that cool kid with the guitar tattoo say his piece a couple times already.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Yeah, please give the stream a like.
Yeah, one in the chat. If you guys want us to move on, go out there and make another victim. Come on. The teleprompter saved Trump. Ironic. Did it? Did it?
This guy, I got footage of this guy that got arrested, and he robbed a pet store, and the cops found him. His name is Mr. Pancake, and he had a bunch of hamsters in his pants.
Stop.
Here, check this out.
Mr. Pancake, you're under arrest. Don't move. Get on your belly. Get on your belly. On your belly.
Mr. Pancake, you're under. Look at what he's wearing.
Is he a furry?
I don't know. Mr. Pancake. Mr. Pancake. There he is, sleeping right there.
He was sleeping?
Yeah, he was
With
sleeping on a
hamsters in his
bench
pants?
with hamsters in his pants.
Oh, what the hell?
Yes.
Mr. Pancake,
you're under arrest.
Don't give me a dream.
Mr. Pancake, you're under arrest.
Move. Get on your belly. Get on your belly. On your belly. On your belly. Roll. Get on your belly, Mr. Pancake.
I can't get on my belly. The hamsters will get squashed.
Get on your belly, Mr. Pancake.
This is nuts.
Oh.
Belly. In the name of the law, Pancake, get on your belly.
In the name of the law, Pancake, get on your belly.
Oh my God. Come on, hamster pants.
God.
Belly's down.
Oh. This is real. This happened in Columbus, Ohio. You can look it up. It's been on like multiple local news channals there.
I got one.
Mr. Pancake was in a cold sleep.
They find hamsters in his pants, by the way.
Your other hand.
Am I under arrest for? Seriously.
Breaking and entering.
He broke into a Petland store. It's like a pet store in that they have there.
You know what you did, Mr. Pants.
Look.
Oh God, there is a gerbil.
Oh,
It's not a gerbil though. It ended up being confirmed that it was a hamster.
Get it right, officer.
This is not satire. This is real.
Multiple gerbils.
Multiple
gerbils
multiple gerbils and the assailants. Leopard print.
We're just advising that our suspect has multiple gerbils in his pants.
Dude, every time I see somebody wearing a cat print onesie with UGG boots, I'm going to assume they have hamsters in their pants.
Yeah, see, this is Inside
and releasing
Edition.
animals from their cages. As the animals run loose in the parking lot near
Yeah, they had to
Columbus,
catch a
Ohio,
puppy.
Cops desperately try to round them up, even the birds.
He let all the animals out. So look, see, there's a little puppy.
Less than a mile away from the pet store, cops say they located the suspect sleeping on a bench. His name is Matthew Pancake. Yes, Pancake is really his last name. And here's something weird.
God.
He was wearing a leopard print onesie when cops made their move.
Mr. Pancake, you're under arrest. Don't move. Get on your belly. Roll.
Mr. Pancake, you're
With
under
police.
arrest. Can't a man just have a little nap time on a park bench with a bunch of
Surrounding the
hamsters in his
sleepy
onesie
suspect
without getting woken up?
Quickly becomes clear he's hiding something.
Where are the gerbils?
Where are the gerbils?
Where are the gerbils, Mr. Pancake?
Gerbils? You heard that right.
Multiple gerbils in his pants.
With the suspect in custody,
Yeah, we got the gerbil bandit.
We
flabbergasted
found
officers
multiple
call in the
gerbils in the
news.
assailant's onesie.
He literally had the gerbils in his pants.
All the animals were safely recovered.
Multiple gerbils in his pants.
The 31-year-old suspect was arrested. He has been charged with breaking into a restaurant and a shoe store, along with that pet shop.
What do you do with someone like that? Do you arrest them? Do you give them a job in like politics? Do you have them?
You make
put
him
to
the
sleep?
spokesperson for a pancake restaurant named after him, Mr. Pancake, right?
Yeah, pet-friendly pancake restaurant.
Yeah, you get a free gerbil to put in your pants while you eat there.
And the syrup comes out of those hamster feeding bottles for the pancakes. Now, Jack Lamort says he should be a sponsor for IHOP. That would only work if he had bunnies in his pants.
IHOP. I get it. I get it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Yeah.
Mr. Pancake. I like how they call them Mr. Pancake. That's so funny.
Yeah. Stop in the name of the law, Mr. Pancake.
Yeah. If I ever hear that, I'm assuming I'm watching a pornography film.
That's pretty funny.
Take out that hamster from your pants, Mr. Pancake.
Did you hear about the guy that's suing this hotel that he applied for a job at? And he's a black guy, so he kind of had like a black sounding name, and they never called him back. But then he turned in the exact same resume with like a white sounding name, and they called him.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Do we know what the name was?
Have you ever considered what people assume about you when they see your name? Just your name. Well, Dwight Jackson did, and now he's suing a hotel in Detroit. I see, Dwight was applying for jobs. He said between January and April of this year, he applied to a few positions.
He changed his name to a Polish name, John Jabrowski.
Dude, that's crazy because I would hire a black before a Pole.
There's the majority of the people that live in Detroit are black people by far. Like it's not even close.
At the Shinola Hotel, but he didn't get a single call back.
What hotel?
Shinola? I don't know. I've never heard of it before.
And then he said,
That
wait
sounds racist.
Let me see something real quick. In April, he applied again, but this time he made a change to his resume, his name. Instead of Dwight Jackson, he became John Jabrowski. And within days, the phone started ringing. Shinola wanted John to come in for an interview. Now, the hotel issued a statement to CNN in response to the lawsuit. Here's part of it. We take this allegation very seriously and do
canned response right here.
Not tolerate discrimination of any kind. We're committed to fostering an inclusive workplace where everyone has the opportunity to succeed and are dedicated to building a diverse
is
workplace.
Not that black of a name, but Jabrowski is definitely not going to be a. You know, you're dealing with a Pole, right?
Yep.
The Polish.
Yeah.
Force that reflects the community. With me now is Dwight Jackson and his attorney.
He's also kind of gay, I would say,
Marco.
more than likely.
And his attorney is too, right?
I don't know.
Dwight, let me start with you. This did not start as a test of the influence of name or racial identity on hiring. You were just looking for a job, right?
I was truly just looking for a job. A lot of people say it was a great experiment. I wasn't experimenting or purposely trying to catch them. I was just looking for a job, like you said. It was so much experience in the hotel industry and luxury hotels at that, historical hotels of downtown Detroit. And for me to not at least get a call back, one call back as Dwight Jackson, it made me a little disparaging of why. So that would just made me fill it out as John Jabrowski.
It's an interesting experiment.
As far as Jackson goes, he's a little closer to Michael than Reggie.
Yeah.
The HR lady called me. She said,
I talked to Reggie Jackson one time when I worked at a call center. It was so weird.
At first I forgot.
I was blown away.
I was like,
I used Reggie Jackson. The other one I was going to use was Samuel L. Jackson. And I glad I went with Reggie because it gave you a little Reggie Jackson moment to share with everybody.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I am John. She liked me and liked the experience I had, and she just sorry, my apologies. She also felt we did an interview the next time. She set up an interview for the next time for an over the phone interview. Then after that, we did an in-person interview. I ended up getting another call for another interview.
And so
My
you got
name's
another
getting me a
call
job
for another
matters.
interview at the same hotel.
Yes.
Okay, so let me come back to that. John, let me come to
Matters.
you now. You say that you see a lot of this.
Please.
Yeah, I see this all the time. It's unfortunate.
I need-
I've been doing civil rights my
I
whole
need
career.
the name of a
They're very tough
cream-colored
cases
gentleman.
because there's often circumstantial evidence. There's not
To
direct
employ
proof.
me.
When a company discriminates, they don't come out and say it. And some of it's unconscious bias, some of it's conscious. But I've had cases where
This
I've
guy
had
looks like
a
a
hiring
schemer.
manager say that the president of the company made a black pile of resumes.
He's got that.
and
Do
everybody
you ever
else,
see
and then
when
taken
back in the
the
day when
resumes
Dave
that
Meltzer had a
sound like
mullet?
black-sounding names and throw them
Yeah.
in the
That's
trash.
kind of what he's got
So
here.
this happens all the time. I think it's
Yeah, he's got a
underreported.
very
Dwight, what did it
Dirt
feel
sheet
like
wrestling
once you
observer.
got a call back as John, but couldn't get a call back as Dwight Jackson?
It was very disparaging, honestly. It really did make me feel worthless. Like, welcome to America, like I always say when people ask me how to make me feel. Welcome to America, where people of our color have to work literally 5 times as hard to get to the same entry level
But wait a second.
doors as
He
many
said he
other.
got a call back for Jim Jabrowski, and when he talked to the person, it was a good callback. Is
Yeah, I don't know.
because if I'm calling back Jim Jabrowski and I answer the phone and I'm racist and I hear what sounds like a gay black man, I'm probably not going to have a good conversation with him if I'm racist. I'll be like, sorry, no.
Their cultures. So it really made me just feel worthless, and like it's hard out here to get a step ahead just because my last name or my color or sexuality. It's a lot that goes with it.
And what did you, I assume you told them, Dwight, that I'm the same person, that Dwight Jackson you ignored and this John Jabrowski you have so much interest in were the same person with very little difference on the resume.
White guys falling in my
what
face
was that conversation
matters.
It was during the second interview. It was for the front desk agent. And I went in and I introduced myself as Dwight Jackson. Because if I wanted the job and you guys called me for my experience, I'm still the same person. It should have made a big difference. And she didn't question who I was, even though Dwight Jackson was not on the docket to be interviewed that day. She still brought up the John Jabrowski resume. So they were privy to it.
Wow. John, you touched on this a bit, but it's got to be hard to prove this case because, you know, maybe there was a different person looking at the Dwight Jackson resume versus the John Jabrowski, or it might have been, it could have been anything. It's hard to prove in court that it was because of the name, right?
Yeah, generally, but in this case, we have the smoking gun. They're the only thing that was changed. These resumes were completely identical, the same experience. The only thing that changed was the name. So what's in a name? That should not be relevant when you're.
But
looking
also
for
what
someone to
changed
work.
was the
It's your
time in which you
education
applied.
experience and the
Sometimes they're
content
not
of your
looking for
character,
people as
not the
hard as
last
they
name
are
that
other
you happen to
times.
be given it for the color of your skin.
And Dwight, they ultimately didn't offer the job to John Jabrowski or Dwight Jackson. What do you want to happen now?
I want to bring awareness to this situation because since I opened Pandora's box, I've been getting a lot of calls, emails, DMs, everything of people who've been through the same situation, whether it was at another company or Shinola themselves. So that's really what I want to do, is bring awareness. And unfortunately, we need bills to help people these type of things. It's unethical that you will have to go through this, but we have to bring awareness so it don't ever happen again towards anyone else.
Anyone else.
There you
and
go.
I would like $1 million.
All right. Let's check. Oh, so we're gonna lighten the mood. That was a lengthy news segment right there. That was lengthy.
Yeah.
So
Girthy,
now
148 yards.
Now we get to devolve in our usual degeneracy here.
Somewhere in the world today, men have got to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong,
Good fine day, YouTube. As you noticed, our society is collapsing upon itself.
Now
One
imagine this Jim
side-
Jabrowski applies for a job at your work.
He's not
screaming
Polish. He's
you're not
90%
woke enough.
British or whatever he says.
And then you have the other side screaming basically fuck woke culture. And it's getting to a point where it's annoying as shit watching people fight over these stupid issues. I'm not gonna be a dick or
I
push it
love
anymore,
it.
just
I love
my
it,
2
love it,
cents.
love it.
Being woke is not a bad thing, but
King Cobra just did a
it's good to
beer
be
review. I wonder if he
informed on the
mentions the Trump
issues.
thing.
However, people are tired of being preached at. And you'll see certain members weaponize cancel culture. And both sides do it to an extent.
He's got that
The
Bush Light
anti-woke
peach.
mob will literally
Peach Bush, baby.
stop spending money on certain corporations if they hold certain values. And the way I look at it, as long as you're not a sicko and you're a decent person, who gives a shit? You know what I'm saying? You're a decent person. You don't go out of your way to hurt people or hurt animals or any of that crap. You just live your life.
Just live your life.
And who fucking cares? It's pretty straightforward. It's not exactly rocket science.
Nice
He
little slurp.
He slurps. Every drink is like a slurp. He never just kind of like pours it into his mouth.
Like 5 o'clock.
Classic slurp for the working man.
Nothing wrong with having one for breakfast.
Anita Pooh Real Bad says Assassin looks like
Appreciate
a
all the
Cuties
candy
fan.
and shouts out
Cobes
to you.
warned us.
I try to get it done as
Damn.
quickly as I can.
Are they saying he looked like Vito?
And at the first of next month, we'll be doing all of my PayPal and Cash App shout outs.
The assassin has been identified as
I
a
really appreciate the
Mr.
money when it comes
Girl.
in. I'm going to be making some more magic wands here soon, so stick around for that. Like, I bought this case of Bush Light Peach, and the case is lasting me like well over 4 days. So I can honestly say I am cutting down on my drinking, and I do.
Way to go,
good for you,
Cobra.
Cobes.
Is that the end of it? I guess so. Here's the beer review. Let's see if he's.
Some awesomeness, YouTube.
What if he's going to say
We
any?
have it.
This came out 3 hours ago, so the Trump shit had happened before.
He might have pre-recorded it if it wasn't live.
New beer review. Samuel Smith's Organic Chocolate Stout.
I like that. Oh, that is a good
Made
beer,
in
actually. That's
Yorkshire.
one of the better beers I've seen Cobra drink. Because I've had this one before. It's imported from the UK. It's pretty good.
What's he gonna mix in it?
I hope nothing.
For England.
Yeah.
Available at one of my local liquor stores, and they don't sell it.
They make
by
a
the
cider,
six-pack.
like a Perry
They do
cider.
a big ass bottle like this.
All kinds of stuff. Really good.
However, I would totally buy a 6-pack if they came with like 6 bottles this size. This is an adult beverage.
21 and up.
21 and up. Also, underage drinking ain't cool. Wait till you're old enough to drink. It's worth the wait.
Yeah.
This is not a twist top, so I'm gonna have to use my Bic liner to
lighter.
open it.
Big liner.
This is a nifty little party trick to do, especially if you ain't got a bottle opener.
Got him. Little bit of a spill.
I wonder if it was shook up.
There.
Probably just by him fucking grabbing it like he was. You just got to swig ahead, right? There was no actual beer in that drink.
Probably. Like the whole neck
The
of
taste
it,
is very
at least,
chocolatey.
is foam.
Like hints of chocolate Tootsie Roll. Strong like natural cocoa.
He's examining
cocoa
the
taste.
bouquet of this selection.
Yeah, Cobes is a fantastic beer and wine
It's got a
reviewer.
dark stout.
He's a
I
connoisseur.
heard he even makes his own
This
mead.
beer is getting the Cobra seal of approval.
His own
we got an
mead, you
approval.
say?
The kind of beer
Hey,
Willy Wonka would probably drink after
somewhat
a
of a
long day
vintner.
of yelling at his Oompa Loompas.
Oompa Loompas.
Because one of them fucked up on making the nerds rope. Hey, YouTube, you might be from Wyoming if
Oh,
you
God, he's
attach a
going into his
nitrous oxide
Foxworthy.
tank to your camper and you do Evil Knievel jumps in your camper over rusted-ass cars. Halfway through the air, you pull out your gun, lean out the window, and shoot the bird in front of your camper as you're flying through the air, and then land on the other side safely while holding a beer. You might be from Wyoming. You ever see a homophobic cowboy eat Rocky Mountain oysters? Here's your sign. This cocky cowboy walked up to the biggest bull at the rodeo. The plate full of Rocky Mountain oysters, deep fried. And he's just eating them right in front of that goddamn bull, flipping them off, being a total asshole. And he says, I don't need a cup. I'm the toughest motherfucker in these parts. Tell you what. And then the cowboy, of course, ends up riding the bull he was taunting earlier. Bull bucks him off and smashes his testicles.
This is quite
Moral
the
of
tale.
story is, karma is a cunt.
I see.
Yeah, you might be from Wyoming if you met your future ex-wife at the rodeo.
What the fuck was that? A joke?
And if you've ever pissed on a rattlesnake while camping, you
Yes.
might be from Wyoming.
I did get invited to a
I was gonna
rodeo in
piss on you,
Wyoming
like,
one
"Whoa,
time.
don't bite my dick off."
I chose to sleep instead.
Yeah, I've been in the position to go to rodeos a few times. There's a fair amount of rodeos in New Mexico. Like that whole like mountain time zone, you're likely to encounter a rodeo, including
All the
the
way
Canada.
up to Canada.
Yeah, like the Calgary
I remember
Stampede.
going to a rodeo, I think in Tacoma or something when I was
Sure.
really young.
Oh, sure, they'll happen out here, for sure. I when I first moved to New Mexico, they still had cockfighting there. It hadn't been made illegal yet. It was made illegal like a few years after I moved there.
Huh.
Yeah.
Capitol Hill does cockfighting.
Not that kind.
They just slap meat together.
Food.
We're gonna make a sandwich.
Okay, he's got the Dietz and Watson sandwich.
Already out here.
I do enjoy getting the Dietz and Watson meats and cheeses.
Spoiler alert, he's going to ruin it.
What? Ruin a pre-made sandwich? How could he?
Those mustard and mayo packet. Got some cocktail shrimp, all kinds of goodies.
Shrimp? He's going to put cocktail shrimp on a
See how
fucking
we
sandwich?
assemble this.
Is this the first time we've
Happy
seen this
Friday,
angle of the
Cobra
kitchen?
Fam. Hope
I
y'all doing
believe so.
fantastic.
I like how he's got his Doritos and shit on the counter instead of on top of the fridge.
No, it doesn't. The label doesn't want to come off. There it goes. Right, proper. There we go. There we go. Come off it.
Do you think the shooter was aware of King Cobra?
Get this sandwich out of there.
I have no idea. I don't know anything about the shooter other than that they were male, right?
I wonder if the shooter had
Did
any
you fucking
lolcow
open
knowledge.
up with it then?
Like maybe like a Chris Chan joke or something they laughed at. Like they
Maybe
do
it-
a Sonichu.
Was it DSP?
Dude, I didn't want to say it. I did not want to say it. I've been holding
Now
it
I
back all
got
night.
this Italian sandwich to go. Packet of mayo and mustard. Excellent.
Mayo and mustard.
We're going to squeeze
Excellent.
some ingredients on it.
Would you squeeze in Cobes?
So here is the sandwich. Looking delicious.
All right. So far, sandwich
We're going
looks
to take the
edible.
top bun off.
Oh no, this is where the
Top
trouble
bun came off
begins.
just nicely into our top bun. We're going to add
We're gonna add some stuff, you
some
say.
ingredients.
You can't even see what he's doing. He needs to use the tripod.
Plus some
God.
cream cheese.
Or if at least he had someone to shoot the video. Oh no! It's he's doing, dude. He's got a plumber crack.
Got a little bit of cake.
He literally
We got some cream cheese.
He had some fucking plumber
Goddamn
crack.
cream cheese.
Just a little booty cheek. Got a little cream cheese for the sandwich. That's acceptable.
Yeah, get it open. Oh yeah, I opened it all by myself.
I've put cream cheese on many a sandwich before.
Got some Philadelphia cream cheese. Like a schmeckle of it, smear of it, whatever you want to call it.
Cream
A
cheese
schmeckle?
really is like boglum a schmeckle.
He said put a schmeckle on it, or a schmear, whatever
And
they
for the
call
spread,
it. A
You know what they call
schmeckle.
it?
cream cheese all over the top bun.
Tell you what, they definitely do put schmeckles on things. Ah, yes. Cream cheese is the boglum's condiment. A lot of cream cheese, no?
He always puts
Kind
in
of-
too much. When he made his shitty pinwheels, he put a ton of cream cheese.
Got to finger that
You got a
dumb.
little bit of cream cheese on there.
Doesn't look too bad now that it's rubbed in, but
spread
it looks
just a
like a
little
hell of a
bit
lot.
more.
Okay, never mind. He's putting more on. I should have known because I didn't think it was too obnoxiously covered in cream cheese that he wasn't done putting cream cheese on it yet.
That's good cream cheese.
Proud to be an American.
Ugh. Listen to him slurp
Mm.
on it.
Slurp.
Next, we're going to add some mozzarella cheese.
Okay, so some mozzarella
Before we add
on the
mozzarella
sandwich.
cheese
Cream cheese,
We're gonna
mozzarella.
hit
We're
that
still not in disgusting
cheese.
status yet.
with a little bit of
Those sandwiches tend to be
Yeah,
a little
garlic
dry. Cream
powder.
cheese wasn't the worst idea. Okay, what's this? Onion? Garlic powder? Hmm.
And then we're gonna hit that with some cilantro.
Cilantro.
Dried cilantro? Dried garlic powder, dried cilantro. All right. That looks
And
acceptable.
then we're gonna hit that with some mozzarella cheese and some bacon bits.
Oh, you got to put the bullshit ass bacon bits on your fucking sandwich.
Kind of think
Gotta
about
put
it.
the-
We need a plate for this sandwich.
Okay, he still hasn't put the cheese on. He's tried 3 times now.
Some Lucraine.
Ukraine. Man's
Put our top
got
on
a
a
plate. He's plated
We're gonna
up
hit
his
this with a little bit
concoction.
of our mozzarella cheese.
Raining mozz on these hoes.
About to get a little wacky in here. A little bit of mozzarella. Kind
Yeah,
of like
man.
Sweet Cinderella story.
A Cinderella story?
Mozzarella cheese, yes please. And some for the chef. Because I like cheese. I like
Lucraine
cheese.
or Serenghetto?
People
It's
asking
Lucraine.
if bacon bits are any good. I would just cook actual fresh bacon if I were you.
I agree. They are unnecessary.
There's 2 types of bacon bits. There's real bacon bits, and then there's these bullshit
There's
soy
a little bit of
vegan
cheese
bacon
on
bits.
there.
Yes.
Both of them I think should be avoided.
I agree.
Gonna
Cook up
microwave
some
it.
bacon, chop it up, make your own bacon bits.
Yeah, make it real crispy if you want.
Yeah, if you want, put the bacon in the oven and cook it on a tray.
I cook bacon in an air fryer too.
Yeah, put some tin foil down if you want to keep it from getting too messy. You
Oh,
can
do
wrap
a
the tin
minute,
foil up,
watch it like
do
a
a little
hawk.
grease bomb, and toss it out.
He microwaves everything.
Everything. You could even pre-cut the bacon if you wanted to before you cook it, but not necessary. Oh, snap. He's already microwaved this sandwich once.
18 seconds left.
It's all you can do, YouTube. It's all you can do.
Beep, beep, motherfucker.
That top bun is fucking hot.
Hot.
And the cheese is all melted. Fuck that.
Does anybody in the chat digress?
Do you digress?
I do not. Ladies and gentlemen, King Cobra is making a delicious sandwich. And so far, I would eat it. But the sound of the microwave going this long...
It's scaring you, right?
Yeah. This is really hitting the point where I don't need my cream cheese microwaved.
Yes. It'll start boiling eventually. Like, what the hell?
Guys,
Yeah.
You guys should totally talk about taco hats. No. Let's watch King Cobra eat garbage. This weird goblin man. History is actually happening right now.
I made
watching this mentally challenged weird ruin food.
It's true. Now, I made something that I think Teddy would like. Should I play it for him so that he'll feel appeased?
You should play it for him, but not until we talk about the fact that King Cobra would make the dope taco hat food hack.
We'll get back to this and finish it because I want to see the ending of the sandwich. But I'll play something just for Teddy because he's a whiner. But it doesn't have anything to do with taco hats, though.
Oh, shit.
Has nothing to do with taco hats.
What could it possibly be?
Let's see.
People all around the nation are saying taco hat is where it's at.
Yeah. Yeah. So last night I was in a stream with Shabisky and we made an AI song about Jared. And I edited a video today that I think Teddy would like because he has like a Jared obsession.
Oh.
So.
I'm an incel, mindful as shit. I'm a Christian, and I rap intense. I'm a Buddhist, and I wear no clothes. I'm a pedo, and I think that shows. I'm Jared Genesis. Do you know what I am saying? I'm hanging at playground, watching kids playing. I'm an alpha, I live with my dad. You're a sim pro, and I'm just a chat. I'm a black belt, you know what it is. And my carpet is all covered in jizz. I'm Jared Genesis. Do you know what I am saying? I'm hanging at playground, watching kids playing. I'm an alpha, I live with my dad. You're a sim pro, and I'm just a chat. I'm a black belt, you know what it is. And my carpet is all covered in jizz. I'm Jared Genesis. Do you know what I am saying? I'm hanging at playground, watching kids playing.
Amazing.
Yuck. He's gross.
You know what I'm saying?
Now for something more appetizing. Is this ranch going on after it's been microwaved? Or is it still microwaving? Man. The diarrhea squirts of an almost empty bottle of ranch are not the ASMR I ordered. I wanted some of that Trisha Paytas
Now for our
gloop
other half of the
ASMR.
sandwich. I want to scooch that to the side. Put the cheese up.
Oh, got to put that Lucraine away. Smart guy doesn't want that Lucraine getting fucking wasted. Bacon ranch.
It's like dark. You can't even see him. What the fuck is this? Cobra.
Look at our sandwich meat.
Cobra needs to live stream again. He needs to go live, boy.
Add some shrimp to it.
I wonder if he's worried he'll get swatted or something.
Or they'll keep sending him food. Yeah, I mean, all this stuff. He probably won't get swatted, but the cops will come.
Told this chose to suck my ass crack.
And they'll send him wood chips and all sorts of shit.
Boglum reacts as Jessica ruined this boy's life, but he went from being involuntarily celibate to choosing a life of celibacy. So that's one level up for King Cobra. I do believe the trolls have found out where he's lived already.
Now we got the shrimp on there.
Taco hat is where it's at. We need a AI version of
Enough
that
cheese
taco.
and bacon bits on there.
Oh, that looks like a taco
Bacon
fucking
ranch.
abortion.
We're gonna hit these shrimps with a little bit of cocktail
Shrimps?
sauce.
Come on. Come on, Cobra.
He just buys a bunch of
Just
shit
eat the
and
shrimp.
puts it all together. He calls it a hack, but
man,
someone correctly pointed out to me one time that a hack is
Donald
like you
Trump
go to
was about to propose some taco hat legislation and they want to stop him. The deep
What?
state is trying to silence the taco hat. I'm not surprised you guys are afraid to talk about it. It is a dangerous topic to talk about in days
You didn't
like
like my
these.
video,
On top of
jerk?
the,
I wasn't aware,
top
Teddy.
bun, we're gonna add some more ingredients. So we're gonna have to scooch that to the side for a second, folks. We welcome back our smoking hot bun here on the top.
Gotta put on some raw
And a
bacon.
mustard
Oh
and
my
mayo at
God.
the top.
Gotta put on some cat food.
All right, I want to see. Oh my God, what is this? Is it cheese? Is it like melt, or is it like a packet of sauce or
Is
something?
it mustard?
Yeah, maybe.
Honey mustard?
Like you can't even see. What is this? Like it's fucking in the dark. Fuck it, you can't even see the food.
We in the dark. How long is this video?
It's already over.
We didn't get to see the finished sandwich?
No, you can't even see it. Like, look.
God damn it.
He's in the
Damn it,
dark.
Cobra.
No one ever told him you need to have the
Damn it.
lights on when you do a
He's a-
video.
He's a creature of the night.
He is. It's goth. So like if black stuff is goth, then in the dark everything's black. So he just turns his entire world goth.
That guy should not have changed his name to a Polish name from a goth name. He might have gotten the job.
Is Egghead around? I don't think he is.
Egghead's having a crying fap right now.
Oh. I do have a promo from Big Diesel, but I gotta wait for Egghead to be around because I think it's because they have a match coming up. Yeah.
I wonder if Trump might have been wearing some sort of camouflaged invisible taco hat, and that was able to deflect the bullet. The things we have to ask: do we have the technology?
Let me see what this is.
We're online at fbi.gov.
Oh, there's like
/Butler. This evening we had what we're calling an assassination attempt against our former president, Donald Trump. It's still an active crime scene. As I mentioned, we have a number of agents on scene.
FBI, yeah.
We also
Have
are
we
working
had an
closely
assassination attempt
with
on
other federal
a
agencies,
former president
our
before?
state partners, and our local police partners
I don't know.
as well. Again, at this time, we are not prepared to identify who the shooter is. We are close to that identification, and as soon as we are 100% confident in who that individual is, we will share it with the press. With that being said, also, we do not currently have an identified motive, although our investigators are working tirelessly to attempt to identify what that motive
They're working
was.
tirelessly? Why don't you give those guys some tires?
At this time, I'm going to turn over the podium to Colonel Chris Paris from the Pennsylvania State Police.
Thank you very much. My name is Colonel Chris Paris, P-A-R-I-S.
His name is
Commissioner of
Chris
Pennsylvania State
Paris?
Police. I would just like to say that the state police have been in regular contact with the governor's office, and the full support and assets
Guy looks like a
of the
fucking
entire
cadet.
agency are behind the FBI and our other federal and municipal partners to assist with this investigation. The thoughts and prayers of the Pennsylvania State Police are likewise with the victims of this terrible act. We are prepared to support this investigation in any way, shape, or form, and we stand ready to participate in a full, fair, and competent and thorough investigation. To give you an operational rundown, Deputy Commissioner of Operations, Lieutenant Colonel George Bivens, is behind me, and he will discuss the operational portion that's being conducted by the Pennsylvania State Police.
Hell's
Lieutenant Colonel
only
Bivens.
says Bush was
Good evening.
planned to be murdered
So let
by
me describe for you a
Saddam
little bit
Hussein
about
in
the
93.
scene that we have over there. As you know, there was a grandstand, a very large area, a lot of people there when this all unfolded. The former president had come out and begun to speak shortly after 6 o'clock this evening. And within about 10 to 15 minutes, a number of sounds were heard, and it became apparent that shots were being fired in that direction. It was a chaotic scene. Law enforcement, I believe, acted heroically, quickly identifying and
Boogie did do all this to get the heat off
threat,
him.
as well as responding to assist
Justified.
the various victims. PSP had a significant presence on the scene
Did you
along
say
with all of our
DSP?
federal partners at the time of the shooting. We have since enhanced that presence significantly, bringing in resources from all over the Commonwealth to ensure that we have a speedy, thorough investigation. We are working very closely with the FBI as we work through this. As you can imagine, because of the variety of crimes that have been committed, some are under federal jurisdiction, some are under state jurisdiction. And so, we're working through all of that, not an issue at all. We work seamlessly, but the FBI has maintained the lead on the attempted assassination. PSP will take the lead on the homicide and the
Keep talking
shootings
about
of the other
Parkside Phil.
individuals in the grandstand area.
Have they
And
released
so there are
any
a lot of
information about them
witnesses,
yet?
to be interviewed, a lot of things to be processed. There were
I
some
don't think so.
complicators that hopefully the next time we speak, we
Just
can
that they
describe for you,
appeared to be
but
male.
Some complicators that slowed down some of the processing and the positive identification of the shooter. But know that at this time we have no reason to believe that there is any other existing threat out there. We are doing everything we can to make sure that this is thoroughly investigated, and that if there
We already knew this,
is
though,
any
right?
information developed,
It wasn't. I
that
mean, like,
anyone else was involved, that between PSP and the FBI,
someone tried to shoot
that would
Trump in the
very
head.
quickly be followed up on.
I mean,
so I think at this time we would open it up to questions from all of you.
Was this a lone wolf attack?
Again, I think it's too early to say that. We have one shooter tentatively identified, but we're not stopping there. We're following up on a lot of information. It will be some time until we can conclusively say or answer that question, I think.
How long do you think that gunman was hiding up there? I mean, we saw the snipers up there, as the crowd was kind of rolling in and looked like they had a pretty good viewpoint to check everyone out. So how long did that guy have been out there?
Again, that'll all be part
Can't
of
hear
the
what she's saying.
investigation, but
Can you come up to the mic, please?
that will all be part of the investigation. But I can tell you that preliminarily it appears everything unfolded very quickly. So, again, we'll have more information on that, but it's just too early to start definitively saying this happened at this exact time. And
But it wasn't like he was inside the security perimeter, right? That building he's
Is it a work or is it a
That's
shoot?
correct.
We'll check how far outside of it was.
We'll have that
It was a
information for you.
shooting.
It was some distance outside of the...
Colonel, can you comment on reports that there were people who saw someone on the roof and tried to alert authorities?
We're following up on those. I will tell you that I am aware of those, and I am aware that law enforcement had responded to a number of reports of suspicious activity. The specific response to this will be all part of the after action, but yes, law enforcement was responding to check on several suspicious occurrences.
What were the other suspicious occurrences?
Yeah, I got to know Alex Jones' opinion.
So you said that you're close to identifying the shooter. Could you at least confirm that he is from Butler County, Pennsylvania? Is there anything else? Did he have any affiliation with that company? do you know?
Butler County,
So again,
Pennsylvania.
we're not prepared at this time to provide the identity of the potential shooter.
The
We're in the
potential
process
shooter.
of doing the confirmation, and once we have the confirmation, we'll release the name officially to the press. But at this time, we can't give any further information on the
Got to make sure that his political affiliation is not liberal.
No, it's a matter of doing biometric confirmations. So
We have to
there was no
plant
identification on the individual. As an
him as a
example.
deranged
So,
MAGA
we're
murderer that
looking at
loved Trump and wanted
photographs
to
right
kill
now,
him.
and we're trying to run
'Cause he loved
his
him.
DNA and get biometric confirmation on.
Would you be able to comment just what police found left behind? Like any possible devices? Did you find any extra guns? Just anything else you'd be willing to comment?
Not at this time. No, we're still in the process of an active investigation. So we'd like to reserve releasing any information like that until we have more facts.
We did find a delicious burger place in Butler, Pennsylvania. We all went to eat after the shooting.
From the FBI's perspective, no. We did not have any specific threat information related to this event.
Can I ask, you talked about how it happened so quickly, and we know that there is at least 2 casualties, including the gunman at this point, that we're aware of. It could have been a lot worse.
Absolutely.
Are you able to comment more about that and how it was taken care of so quickly?
So I think the credit
be
goes
worse.
to not only the Secret Service who was on site, but also the state and local partners who were there on site and were able to react immediately when the incident occurred.
Do you know how many officers fired their weapons?
I do not.
I understand that it's very early and there's still going to be a lot of questions, but I mean, is this a failure of security?
Really, at this point, we're not going to make that assessment. There's an active investigation. A lot of things need to occur investigatively to make those determinations of what, if any, failures there were. So we can't comment on that at this time.
You can't say the Secret Service had checked those buildings or were keeping.
Do you
a
think
close
if the
eye
guy
or-
would have made the
Really
first
have to
shot,
defer to Secret
that he would have gotten away?
For those questions.
I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of what exactly happened yet, too.
Are you saying the
I don't
location where the shooter was located? I don't have any information on that. You'd have to refer to Secret Service.
When do you think you will release? When will the name of the shooter be released? I mean, any inkling of when that might happen? Tomorrow or?
So that'll be as soon as we've confirmed 100%, we're willing to release that. So if we have as far as the contact information for the press, we should be able to do that within the next few hours, I imagine.
I'm sorry, so there was a vehicle being checked not far from here. We've also heard of a possible related scene in Bethel Park. Is there anything you can tell us tonight about other areas?
Will he have a middle name that he uses in his full name?
Again, right now we're tracking down all leads and
he better. That's why they haven't released him yet. They haven't figured out his middle name yet.
Regarding suspicious
we would love to release this information, but we haven't confirmed his middle name as of press release, so we must wait.
But I can't.
We do believe it. His middle name
going
might
on
be White, but it also could be John.
As far as
his last
the
name
details
is
of the weapon,
Jablowski or Jackson.
Jabroni.
Okay. Until we have the confirmation of who the shooter is, and we'll release that as part of the investigative details later.
You said that you guys are deploying extra resources, and one of the things that you said was bomb technicians. So is this standard procedure, or do you have reason to believe that there are bombs somewhere in Butler?
Fist pumping.
It's primarily standard procedure of any suspicious packages. In this case, there was identification of suspicious packages around where the shooter was, and so we deployed in an abundance of caution.
I wonder which one of the MAGA
bomb
rappers will have it.
to make sure that those were
You tried to shoot me, but you punks didn't finish.
to move safely in the area.
That's
We're
a
still
rap
working on-
remix
it's
for
still
Trump.
an active crime scene.
I can't remember any
So
of their
I'm not gonna
names
say that the
anyway.
scene is 100% clear. at
There's
this
like that
time.
one guy who's like blowjob Fortunato or something.
So Secret Service wasn't available for the press
Fellatio
conference
Blow or Fortunato
Fellatio
Blow.
Blow.
Yeah, he's the weird Amish bearded looking fucking icky thug.
Really anything.
Hubert
I don't
Horatio
have specifics on what
Fellatio
they were looking at,
Humphrey.
but
Fellatio
there's
Whoreblower.
People in the crowd will leave bags as they're fleeing the scene like this. So any suspicious packages we have to treat as it may be an explosive device.
There's some suspicious packages.
They're not going to talk about it, I guess, but when you guys jumped into action, all law enforcement, and were able to take down that shooter, how quickly did everybody jump in, and who ended up taking him out?
So it was immediate, and it was. We're still trying
It does
to figure
appear
that
the
out.
shooter's
So
name
we'll
is
wait till
Matthew
we have more
Pancake.
definitive
Mr.
information
Mr.
regarding this
Pancake.
investigatively.
Full circle.
The person in the crowd, do you have any information about how they were?
Damn it,
how
Mr.
they were
Pancake.
killed?
My understanding was it was
Jesus.
from the shooter, but again, those will be details that are released later.
Do you search homes or apartments as a part of your method of identifying the individual?
So if that's where the leads take us, absolutely.
Was Donald Trump hit with a bullet? Do you know for sure, or was it potentially something else that could have?
I don't have that specific information as far as the injuries to the former president.
I understand you're not releasing the suspect's identification. Right
Trump
now.
said he was hit by a bullet.
This person known to you guys, is he somebody that you guys have been looking at due to threats he's possibly made online, et cetera, et cetera?
Again, the information that we currently have, we're looking at that obviously very intently, and as we know that information, we'll release that as well. So we'll need to plan another time for a follow-up press conference. We're looking at all investigative leads and all everything from, and that's why we asked the public, because I'm sure there'll be cell phone video, there'll be all kinds of information that we'll use to fully flesh out exactly what happened here.
I know you're saying you can't say what type of gun it is, but do you know how many shots were fired?
I don't.
And
I don't have that information.
They're trying to
as far
milk
as-
any information
that'll
out
come
of this
in the
that they can
investigation
get.
Is there an
Yeah, they're not getting
identification
anything.
of the other victims?
As far as the civilians,
Civilians that were injured.
There was a lot of blood.
yeah.
So we do have identification on those. We're not prepared
This was the
to
most
release it
I've
at
ever
this
bled
time.
in my
We
entire
have
life. There was
notified
a lot
number
of blood.
family
Nobody
members,
bleeds
but,
better than me.
They have not had an opportunity to notify extended family and things. I would confirm for you that we did have one individual killed, and I know I heard somebody say about 2 victims. There were 3 in total besides the former president. So 2 critically wounded, 1 killed.
At this point, do you know if they were sitting near each other and where in relation to the former president were they?
I don't have their exact seating by individual. Again, that'll all be part of the investigation, but their shots were scattered somewhat, and so they weren't just into one particular location.
you're saying just one face.
Wait.
Yes.
The shooter and one fatality.
The shooter plus one fatality.
Oh, thank you.
So
The
there was
shooter
one
plus
victim
one fatality.
of the shooter was killed.
Round
And
one,
the shooter
fight.
was killed.
And then 2 in critical.
Yes, ma'am.
Why won't you love me, Daddy?
That guy giving the camera the finger. So they're gonna find him, right?
I've
and
heard
like,
those reports as well.
he'll be on
and,
the news or
and
whatever.
again,
Yeah, he might not be the shooter, but he
have
was
a good
flipping some
idea of what the
bird.
weapon was. But again, that's all part of the ongoing investigation. And I'm not trying to be cagey about that.
This guy is really trying to be
when,
cagey.
The SAC talked about the need to be very methodical and to be cautious with that scene. We are doing just that. We don't want anybody else getting hurt. And candidly, there are some concerns that we'll be able to talk more about later on.
I heard some fireworks
about
go
just what
off,
those
so I
concerns
dropped to the
are
ground.
And continue to be.
When I hit the ground, I opened up a ketchup packet to make a nice hot dog snack while I was down there.
Slipped
and it
off my-
exploded all over my ear and face.
Slipped off his shoes too.
Have there been any threats in response to this? Or you
Figured I'd get comfy, took off my shoes.
And we're monitoring that whole situation. I mentioned that we're bringing a lot of assets to bear, and so like the FBI, utilizing their analysts,
this guy
we
is
also have the
cagey as
Pennsylvania
hell.
Criminal Intelligence Center. We will utilize the resources of our intelligence division and the criminal intelligence
We call
center
this
to be
guy
able to
Nicholas,
monitor,
he's so cagey.
for concerns about any threats, regardless of the side of the issue or the political spectrum. We want to make sure that we try and avoid any further violence.
So no, nothing specific.
I would have gotten away with it too, but I dipped a French fry in my ear.
The other folks who were injured or killed, were they adults, male, female, anything at all?
They were adults, and they're male.
All three.
Yes.
How difficult of a day is this for your department, though, or all your departments to go talk to these family members, including the civilians who are going down while they just went to a rally and try and, celebrate against the upcoming election? What are those conversations like, and how do you kind of get through that?
We have trained investigators, and we're partnered hand in hand with the FBI, again, because we've got some federal violations, some state violations, and so our investigators are going out and methodically. We have a large team of investigators that are going out, dividing up these interviews and trying to conduct them as quickly as possible. And then there will be follow-ups. With the FBI asking for people to call in tips, I have no doubt that we will receive a lot of additional information that will also require follow-up. But again, we're working very well together, and it's only a short matter of time until we get through all of those interviews.
Colonel Trump, your experience, how close a call was it for President Trump?
There were no police hit with bullets.
From your experience, how close a call was it for President
I'm not going to speculate or comment on that.
Have any of you talked to the president? Did any of you have any kind of reaction or any?
No.
No. Which law enforcement agencies were tasked with securing this particular rally outside of the United States Secret Service?
Well, Secret Service always has the lead on securing something like this, but then they work very closely.
See, they're out here to talk, but not
I hate
to
use the
really
word
say
routine,
anything.
But it is a fairly routine.
It's like they're out there to talk so that they can say that they did a press conference, but they avoid basically saying most things at this point.
Yeah, I don't know why they're even answering questions at this point.
Yeah, they should probably just wait until they have the name of the shooter.
They should say, hey, we got everybody here just to tell you there ain't no reason for you to be here.
And there will be there will be an investigation. There'll probably be like a committee also, like a congressional committee on it. More than likely, because it was a failure. We saw the failure to keep people from storming the Capitol, and now we've seen the failure to keep people from shooting at presidents. So,
gotta stop failing, guys. We gotta stop outsourcing all of our jobs to Antifa.
It took our jobs.
Antifa took our jobs.
Your gerbs.
It's gonna be a weird 4 years.
What, with Trump back again?
No matter either way, it's going to be weird. I hope somebody comes out of the light to be a promising new leader in this country.
We'll see what happens.
I think best case scenario is whoever wins, America just gets really tired of everything and just kind of like does their own thing for 4 years and nobody pays attention to politics.
Well, Trump might get his mech suit too. I guess Elon Musk is on the job. We saw that.
That would be sweet. That would be sweet.
Yeah.
Definitely vote for Mecha Trump.
Will he have like those like boot rocket things that sometimes mechs have?
Yeah, if he could fly, but I think more importantly, he needs like a rotisserie chamber in his suit to make some nice chicken.
Jump jets.
Yeah, that's good too. Maybe a cheese whiz or a soda fountain. A nice soda fountain.
He should get like at least some kind of soft serve ice cream because it'll make Biden jealous.
Yeah, that would be lit. He just goes around giving soft serve to all of his fans. I would become a fan for free soft serve. I don't care. Liqui says men can afford not to pay attention to politics. Not women. Women have no hope of changing politics. Men are the only one that can change politics. Women can't even vote.
They can actually.
Oh, shit. What year is it?
2024.
Oh, shit.
The year of our Lord.
I overslept. I took a nap with some gerbils in my onesie.
Mr. Pancake.
Mr. Pancake.
Stop in the name of the law, Mr. Pancake.
It's just a stack. Hamster stack and his pancakes.
Mr. Pancake.
Republicans made it legal for women to vote. Oh, great. I knew there was something wrong with that Republican Party.
So I think we're probably going to wrap this one up. The goal that this is next week's goal.
Yeah, guys, this was a bonus show tonight. Please help us get to the goal. We're going to end in like 20 seconds. So we need to get $539 in the next 20 seconds.
No, we can meet it. We can meet it next week.
Stephen Andrew 777 says Billy sounds like he might be the shooter. You'll never know. Happy birthday, Scott Henson. Miss you forever, my friend.
Damn. Yeah, it was a crazy day. That the whole Trump thing is just crazy. Blew me away, you know?
Yeah, we had to celebrate Scott's birthday somehow.
Was that? Yeah, that's something else. All right, we're gonna wrap it up. You guys have a great night. Okay, see you next time.
Good night.
I'm an incel, mindfulness shit. I'm a Christian, and I wear fingertips. I'm a Buddhist, and I wear no clothes. I'm a pedo, and I think that shows. I'm Jared Genesis. Do you know what I am saying? I'm hanging at playground, watching kids playing. I'm an alpha, I live with my dad. You're a synth bro, and I'm just a Chad. I'm a black belt, you know what it is. And my carpet is all covered in jizz. I'm Jared Genesis. Do you know what I am saying? I'm hanging at playground, watching kids playing. I'm an alpha, I live with my dad. You're a synth bro, and I'm just a Chad. I'm a black belt, you know what it is. And my carpet is all covered in jizz. I'm Jared Genesis. Do you know what I am saying? I'm hanging at playground, watching kids playing. I'm Jared Genesis. Do you know what I am saying? I'm hanging at playground, watching kids playing. I'm Jared Genesis.